It's a Festivus miracle.
The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
Another Festivus miracle.
And now, as Festivus rolls on, we come to the feats of strength.
Frank, no offense, but this holiday's a little out there.
Until you pin me, George, Festivus is not over. Let's rumble!
Hello? Okay. Yeah, you go through all these preparations, and although there wasn't really many preparations for this show, it's just a get on there and bitch. Uh-oh, hey, look who finally showed up. Look at these fuckers. Hang on. Jesus H. Christ. Wow, you guys think this is a party? You show up fashionably late, you pieces of shit, you fuckers. Fuckers. That's alright. As long as you show up. Did you bring presents? Oh, you didn't know? No, I just made that shit up. Oh, I got my Festivus pole, man. And no, it's not a piece of random cardboard tubing I found by the recyclables that I wrapped in Reynolds wrap. No, it's not at all. That is a genuine 100% Festivus pole. How you guys doing? I'm alright. It's been yeah, I'm glad this ain't smell-o-vision. I didn't know. Hey, Steve, do me a favor if you can. Bump up your audio just a little bit. You sound like you're not as loud as us jackasses. Oh, yeah? No, that's fine. No, you're fine. We just want to make sure we hear you. I got these at the Chinese dollar store, and you say, "Oh, it's Chinese dollar." It is. It was run by Chinese folks, and it was $1. But I don't know. I didn't know what. I think this was $1.25, and the Santa hat I had on last night on Bitchmas was like $2.50. So there was no dollars. That's all. They say dollar store, but that's all lies. we had one. This is a new one about a block away from where the old one was. The old one closed down, and then they tore down the building, of course, because they're going to build this high rise for way too expensive apartments and condos, that sort of thing. Because hey, New York, that's what we do. We overprice the shit out of things. Yeah, so Guys, I appreciate y'all coming on. I have no. This is the first time I've ever used StreamYard, so this could be interesting. Uh, so I don't know how this is gonna work out. Well, I tell you, before you guys showed up, I was like, I didn't see anybody in the queue, and I was like, okay, well, and and the way I know the way these shows usually go, it may not have been a bad thing, to to just kind of like, yeah, well, but anyway, so I tell you, man, I could not. I had to watch that in bits and pieces because dude's voice is like nails on a chalkboard. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just like right. I mean, okay. Uh, uh, I mean, I can hear you, and you guys are getting. Um, let's see. It says mute a mic, but I mean, I'm not muting you guys. Oh, hang on a second. I have this running through voice meter, and I'm getting levels from you guys. Wait a minute. Uh, Hang on just a second here. Yeah, cause I got other little things. Hang on a second. So, oh, I think I know what it is. Wait a minute. No, let's see. So that's going to OBS. They should be hearing you. That's so weird. Hang on just a second. Ta, 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 ta. All right, give me a mic check, guys. Hang on just a second. Oh, I'm on mute. Hang on just a second, guys. I know, right? My shit's starting to kick in. So, one moment, folks. Let's see. Let me do this. Let me do this. Um, all right, give me a mic check, guys. Okay, just talk amongst yourselves, fellas, while I figure this out.
you know, like we had to deal with everyone's like opinion that's based off fucking nothing. Like we're always dealing with just ridiculous trolls all the time.
Okay, I
Like
think let me check the chat here. I think we got you guys in now.
I don't. I
yes,
don't
I
usually
hear
deal
I hear
with.
ourselves.
I don't usually deal
Okay,
with trolls in our chat. Like we usually don't
Yeah,
have it. It'll be on the
yeah.
yeah.
YouTube.
It's just on Twitter. I mean, mainly. Twitter's a cesspool of toxicity. You know. So,
Okay, good.
but
Sweet. Sweet Jesus in the morning. Fuck this. Fuck you, StreamYard.
fuck you, StreamYard. Tired of your shit.
Are you gonna start this now, Warren?
Yeah,
Weren't you yelling at us for being late?
I
yeah,
know, right? Karma's
yeah.
a
Warren.
bitch,
You got your
right?
shit together? Come on, Blake. Told you I was early.
Oh, I'm lower. I'm lower than these guys.
We were
It's
both
like-
we were both early. I can turn my
I
gain
don't
down a
know.
little bit on my.
Well, look,
On
this
my
is
thing.
this is the airing of grievances, whether they're warranted or not. So I mean, I'm
Not?
not saying, I'm just saying, yeah. So, anywho,
I just feel like we should just turn this instead of Festivus just into scream therapy. You know, just yell
Look,
into the
man.
mic for how long? How long we got to do this?
I've joked
You know?
for years now on the show that like if we weren't cracking fucking just horrible
Yeah.
dark humor throughout, the entire
Yeah.
program would just be me screaming and
Just peaking the entire thing entirely, just the whole time.
I
Like-
mean fucking vial of acid to the eyeball primal scream.
I feel like I feel like the knights who say knee frequently just coming out hitting ourselves in the head every time we do a stream just for our own like emotional fucking every time we got to look at news and anything it's just fucking hitting yourself in the face day after day.
well, I gotta say, like, I mean, you guys that use just Streamlabs, or I mean, not Streamlabs, just StreamYard.
Yeah.
It's easy peasy. Me, I'm kind of like Oz. I have to take the hard way around because like I'm
You have
like
to
this.
overcomplicate. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, for the regular show, there's like a whole bunch of shit. It's like I usually use like Zoom or something like that, which is pretty
Yep.
easy. But I also redid the audio because I think when I was on Bitch last week. And I think, Steve, you had mentioned the audio. My audio was, like, fucked up. And I said, okay, well, let me go fix this. And then I'm like, oh, well. And, I don't think you guys were here yet at the beginning of the show when you couldn't. I forgot to totally set up my audio for this little thing. So, stoner. I was so worried about the stupid open and shit, and I didn't do the others. So, I don't know. I'm precious.
Yeah.
Don't hate on me too much.
No, we're good. Fucking boomer with your nonsense.
When
Fucking-
I started live streaming, I was live streaming with a potato can through YouTube only on outdoors on my back deck.
I remember those videos. I remember those. And those are good too. I mean, it was the quality was
The
like
audio was so fucking scuffed, dude. It was just the internal laptop mic. It was horrible.
Yeah, but
like it was
you had that
shame that I interviewed McAfee like that. But shit, I do fucking at least when we had Cynthia McKinney, I was in my buddy's music studio and like he was engineering it.
well, dude, you were doing like those outdoor. You were doing those outdoor streams too, and it's like, okay, maybe the audio wasn't that great, but you overcompensated with the nature background. I mean, that shit's beautiful. I miss that shit. It's just nothing but concrete and broken drains around these parts. So,
Like a David Attenborough documentary for you, pretty much. Just fucking. And here we see a scuba Steve in his natural habitat.
me, it's like.
Yeah, I know,
Here-
right?
Here we see an asshole with a green screen and asshole neighbors that won't shut the fuck up when you need them to. So, but hey, we're bitching, right? That's what the airing of grievances. That's all part of it. I don't have a feat of strength. you know, I did shower
No?
today, so what strength I had was washed away.
Was hygiene?
Yeah, it was like, woo. You know, it's some of those days you're not around people that much. You know, I ain't gonna shower. Fuck that shit. You know, but
I
in
don't
case
remember
they
how much
invented,
these weigh.
in case they invented
but-
smell-o-vision tonight, so I said, well, I better fucking shower. So anyway,
I don't even have
all
chalk
right,
either.
let's get to the
show
airing of
strength?
grievances. Well, do you
I
have
thought
a show
we've been
of
doing
strength?
that.
Are
I
you
do have a
showing
show of strength. This
Okay.
this is like a 300-pound grip strength
Okay.
thing. Like this one's pretty tough for people who have none. This is like 100, I think, right? And you're meant to be able to like click them like that, right? And that one's. But normally, what I hand people is like this one, which like 5 people in the world have fucking done. Right? And I'm like, here's the easiest one, and they're like, like fucking nothing, just, you know. But I usually can get 3s. These are 2s. I can get those to click pretty good, and then this is where I start having trouble and needing chalk, before my grip starts slipping. But
What chalk?
I can get
What
a
the
click
hell?
out of 3. Yeah, for like climber's chalk or let me see if I have some.
It helps with your grip, so that when your fingers sweat, when you sweat, you don't lose grip.
I don't know about all that. I remember those back from like the 80s. I think there was a lot of people using those, you know, like, you know, I am the strongest, and I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and then they stopped, and then we fucking produced nothing but little wusses for a
Wussies.
generation. Maybe we should hand them the grip strength thing back. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're technically one of the worst ways to train grip strength, but they're a pretty good indicator of like where you're at. But you should just be, you know, fucking picking up heavy shit that's hard to hold. You know,
I was at the Micro Center there, the computer store here in town, and they were selling those things. And the only reason I was wondering why they were selling those was because so you wouldn't get carpal tunnel or something like that with the keyboards. I'm not sure how that works.
This will be a PR if I get it, but. Yeah, fuck no. I hit the wall at 4.
I got tired just looking at you doing that. So
yeah, let me see what they actually have legitimate weight ranges. Let me look up what they are, because like people are like, oh yeah, he squeezed the thing, and then you realize how fucking heavy they are, you know. But it was either that or bring an entire barbell and fucking plates inside, and I didn't want to drop that on tile, so.
Yeah,
You know?
and this is a very low budget show, normally, particularly tonight. So hopefully no one has spent any money in regards to this show, because I sure as fuck haven't. I told you I found that pole for free, kid. I ain't buying nothing. Although I did buy these, but they're too tall. They're too tall for the thing.
They're too tall.
They're too tall, and I have to do like. Oh, like I'm bowing to you. Oh, you know. The bit's all right if you can see it, but if you can't see it, well, I guess that's pretty much the feats of strength for tonight. And Steve's doesn't even have his camera on, and I said fuck it about 10 minutes ago. So,
the black one, the black one's 250 pounds. The blue one's 200 pounds. So I'm doing all right.
let me
My strength is making it through the last several months without snapping and murdering anybody.
That I do understand.
That is a
Just
huge
like-
feat of strength, brother.
Yeah, dude.
But you've been like, you know, you've been up country though. You haven't really been around too many motherfuckers, so you know that's probably good for them and good for your sanity too, huh, Steve?
We'll go with that version of the story rather than me elucidate on the reality of it. Yeah, we'll run with that.
Speaking of, reality, fucking mushrooms are cool. I got those fucking chocolate bars not that long ago. Those things are dope.
Yeah, they
So,
are.
yeah.
I need
I
to
don't know
get
who's been doing
my
those,
hands on
but
some of
if I could
those.
just get a sponsor and just then send me a case, I'll be more than willing to oblige. Hand them
As
out to all the
long as you're
kids at
willing
Halloween.
to work with a gray market company, and
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
people that are ordering know that they're working with a gray market company, and everybody's assuming
yeah,
risk, then it
yeah.
works.
Well, eventually, when the risk is overcome through, it's like how long before they're already trying to make hallucinogens legal, right? So that rich white folks can make some more money off it,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Well, aren't they
So
legal in Oregon? Didn't they just legalize
they
everything up
just
there?
they just recently uh, legalized them, I think, or decriminalized them, or
They
one of
legalized
those.
all drugs in Oregon.
Yeah, yeah,
Simple possession.
yeah.
Can
I
be
heard
high on
somebody
them. I
was
know there's a number of cities in California where psilocybin's decriminalized. In the city of Santa Cruz, all plant-based psychedelics are decriminalized. You
nice.
can
So
walk around with up to an ounce of just about anything on. Although I've never seen anyone try to push the limit by getting arrested with 27 grams of DMT on them.
one, it's like what, like cocaine. That's a plant derivative. Like, is that fine? Like, we're
Well,
talking about
it's
plant
not classified
derivatives.
as a psychedelic. It's classified as a
Oh,
stimulant.
okay. A stimulant.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
the classification for psychedelics is what allows it to carry. But I mean, that includes ayahuasca. That includes all
Right.
plant-based psychedelics.
How do
So
we how do we turn those into aerosols that we can just put into everyone's, like air supplies? Like I feel like that's needed, you know?
You
Just
could, you
like
could
get
take
it over
Kim.
with.
You could take
Just
over
like a
Kim.
crop duster.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could take over chemtrails and replace that with like,
Yeah.
and just spray it over.
Yeah, just
everybody.
fucking DMT. Yeah.
I would take
Fucking-
that over barium and sodium and
Like those are the mandates we need, right? Just weed and fucking just like
back
fucking
during when there was that contested period during the election where nobody really knew who the president was for a few weeks. Glory Jones
Yeah.
made me interim president, and that was part of my platform was mandatory DMT.
I would
yeah.
have voted for you on that. Yeah. Like fucking
Yeah,
Bill
so
Hicks
I
would have been
only
with
had, like,
us.
3 or 4 things I was gonna do. I was gonna release all political prisoners. I was starting with Julian Assange, but
I read
was
a
gonna make
thing.
DMT mandatory. I made Nico House head of the CIA and directed him to change it to the Department of Minding Your Own Damn Business.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I had a full program worked up. It's a shame that it didn't actually go through.
Yeah. He's also allowed to set up all the parties.
Well,
That's
and I
him.
was going to, by executive order, within the first 72 hours, completely dissolve the federal government and abolish it.
Nice. The the like, I'm trying to remember. It's I read a whole fucking thing on it about how weed, like it's one of the first things where it's like everyone at a young age propagandizes you to think it's bad, right? And the minute you actually try it, you realize, oh, the entire authority structure is fucked, right? Like this is amazing stuff, like, and that's where it starts, right? Then you start questioning pretty much every other thing that is told to you, right? Which is why, like, Nixon and then made it illegal, right? Like, or heavily pushed the drug war to that side of things. Because they wanted to deal. I think there's tapes of him saying that he wants to deal with the hippies and other words that start with an N.
That's John Ehrlichman too, who
Is it?
primarily drove that.
Yeah. So
This is my first this was my, I guess, second real thing that I ever got into as an activist. I know this may be hard to believe, but there was a time in my life where I was a cannabis enthusiast, and
I would never have guessed.
Man, I went all in. I'm still a lifetime member in Normal. Right.
Yeah.
I lived in Bloomington, Indiana. I co-owned a head shop called the Magic Bus with a guy named
Nice.
Steve Arthur. We ended up
Yeah.
opening that business in Indianapolis and then sold it, and the guy got the fuck out of Indiana. But Alan St. Pierre, who was at the time the executive director of Normal, and I think still is on the board, like came through and spent like 6 months at Steve Arthur's house. So I was basically crashing there too. Got to know
Nice.
like half of Normal's the executive board in the mid 90s, late 90s pretty well there for a while. Yeah, could probably get two of them to answer the phone to this day.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to fucking literally. I'd love to fucking talk to people over there. I've always been, I mean, if you've picked up a copy of High Times Ever, you know about Normal. So,
High Times.
like,
Do they still make the paper
know.
version, or has it gone full online, just like the regular
full
all the
digital?
other
No, I
ways?
think they still make. But I know they have a big Instagram following now.
You can get a paper edition, but you have to request it, and you have to, like, you can't just, you're not walking into a head shop and finding it there.
Yeah.
Right.
A little rack like you used to or whatever.
I saw yesterday Vice, as terrible as they are a news company, their fucking shit on weed is fantastic. They did a whole thing on like they did this whole gourmet fucking like Christmas dinner all with fucking weed shit, and like they went to like one of the extracts fucking lab, and it looked like he was just fucking pulling, like blowing glass with just fucking dap. You're just like, oh Jesus Christ. Like, when the viscosity is almost solid, like that kind of shit. Like, but, and it was like a fucking, I mean, like multiple thousands of dollars of it in one container. You're just like, Jesus Christ. And they're gonna fucking make some hot chocolate out of it. Terrible.
Let me shout out the chat peeps here in the pit. Steve Cutler Live, Gamer for Life.
What's up, Steve?
Fred Edward, Charlie Brown's Rebellion, all the usual suspects are here. Who else? Turbo GG.
Who's the fucking usual suspects, huh? Who the fuck you talking about?
Kaiser
Kaiser
Soze! I love that fucking movie. I don't care if
That whole fucking scene where they're like cracking each other up the whole time, like the bloopers on that is just fucking killer. They just can't get it together at all.
They flip it for real. I know,
Is
right?
he the only person in that movie who isn't like a total fucking pedophile, sex pest, creeper?
I think so,
son of a
yeah.
bitch?
Yeah, everyone
You
else
mean
is
like in
terrible.
real life?
Because I got a lot of hope.
Yeah, there's like
Kevin
one guy.
Kevin Pollak. I would like to think that Kevin Pollak was not a part of all that, because really Todd Hockney was the best character in that movie.
Yeah. It's been so long since I've seen that film.
Well,
like
what's his
all
name?
those films kind of like blend
Who's it,
together, like that, Goodfellas, like.
Was it Stephen Baldwin?
know.
Was it? I know one of the Baldwins was in it.
Yeah, it was Steven.
Steven. Now
Always
he's
be closing.
Steven is. I think he's like Mr. Church
McDonald.
dude now, right? Isn't he?
Had a farm. Yeah.
What happened with? Isn't like what's the whole deal with Alec and like the like he's fucking trying to sue the movie company or whatever, right? Like after the whole prop gun situation with him.
Yeah, prop gun. The prop
Yeah.
guns don't create bodies.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Right. But it's like he didn't even know it was a real gun or what. Like, so there's some crazy like
So
why do you think everyone's
all right.
checking it before they hand it to you, bro? Like,
Well, okay. There's a whole like a whole fucking chain of events that's supposed to take place on a movie set, and the fucking
double, triple checking, handoff, check, like.
Well, and dude, I mean, anyone who's ever been handed a gun should check to see if it's loaded and see if the. I mean, it's just. It's in rule number one. Rule number one: don't point it at anyone, loaded or unloaded, ever for any reason. That's rule number one. It's also rule number 10. Like, I mean,
yes, yeah. don't point it at anything you are not willing to destroy utterly and completely. Like that's, you know, it's like the rule number 1 and 2. I mean that's why on films that there's tons of redundancy for checking, and they make sure that, like, you know, there's certain guns that gases can't even escape. Like, you know, they do a bunch. It's why, like, to the point where, like, is it in Pulp Fiction or whatever? Samuel L. Jackson is pointing at what's obviously you know, Colt 1911, right? Which is chambered in .45. He says Mr. 9mm here, right? Mm-hmm. He's actually accurate because the prop gun would have been 9mm because .45 blanks were dangerous. Like, you know, so, like, it was just a little Tarantino, I'm a fuck with the movie people, you know, thing, but, like, well, I've always been fucking into that shit.
Alec Baldwin doesn't strike me as Mr. Gun Safety or Mr. Safety, period, you know, like, when we were kids, I think, like, in junior high, the local, like park ranger dude, would come around, and we would have gun safety courses, right? I guess they don't do gun safety courses anymore. Maybe they still do in the South, but, you know, and we learned everything about gun
safety.
You're
in ROTC and shit.
Number one thing, don't point it at motherfuckers loaded or unloaded, you know, keep the barrel away, you know, that kind of thing. So,
I mean, my gun safety was Dad taking me out to go kill the snake in the yard. Like, that was like, all right, now fucking... Like, here's what you do. And then it was just, like, BB guns. We're going to hit the fucking cowbell from, like, all the way across the yard. Like, you know. My dad placed expert and marksman in every weapon the Marines gave him. Right? Like, you know. He's fucking... If he can see that shit, he can hit it. The issue is he's fucking old now and can't see the shit. So...
Yeah, it kind of helps to have a marksman for a dad if you're going to learn guns.
Yeah. Know. It was crazy because I was always the fucking liberal pinko commie in my small fucking, you know, southern town, and I could fucking outshoot most of those assholes. Like, you know, they really want to go shooting, you fucking liberal? Sure, I'll go. You know, what are we hitting, cans? Like,
no.
So
we're hitting human-shaped cans.
Pigs. Those are called pigs. Human-shaped cans. Those are fucking hard.
You're out in the country. Ain't nobody gonna know about this shit. They'll find the body in about 3 days, and they'll say a deer gored him or something like that. You know, there's always something.
We've only got, like, the fucking whitetail here, you know, and fuck it, dude. The fucking road at night. He's just like, man, I wish it was season, you know. Like, we used to
go to the gravel pits. That's where we would do. Like shooting. A buddy of mine, I can't remember what gun he had. He had a handgun though, and I was so used to shooting like rifles and shotguns, like having, you know, like this was a little weird.
Yeah, weird.
And you get that kick, you know. So I was not very good with the handguns.
Well, that's why you stabilize the wrist.
Yeah, right. You got to, like, lock it in, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
My father, like, you can definitely
do it.
You can definitely tell he learned to shoot in, like, the 70s and 80s, right? Because it's like cup and saucer, like Barney Fife. Yeah, like, or Olympic, like, fucking, and it's like, but he fucking is a great shot that way, but, like, I'm like, yo, like, lock this shit in, bop, bop, like, you know, but he's like, yeah, but my grouping's better than yours. I'm like, well, yes, but, you know, like, you could get a better one, you know, but, yeah, it's just funny, like, we've got the funniest shit. We've got that Browning 16 gauge, Sweet 16, fast as you can pull the trigger. It's pretty much the BAR, but it's a shotgun, right? And, like, that thing puts people in the ground so many times. Like, they're like, oh, you shot 12 gauge, right? Like, yeah, you know, like, so 16 shouldn't be a problem for you, right? Well, it shouldn't be, you know, except they do this, bah, bah, bah. You know, they just, like, take a couple, you know. That thing's actually really nice to shoot. It's got the gas system, like, the spring system. It's a floating barrel, so it's actually, once you, like, actually lay into it, it's not bad. But the thing's fucking heavy as shit, old.
I had a
Like,
7.92 Mauser that was like that. And holy fuck, did it
it's like
kick.
the first time you pick up a M1, the Grand,
The Grand? Jesus
like, and you realize
Christ,
how
dude.
fucking heavy that motherfucker is. Like, you realize people took this all across Europe on foot.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, the standard issue
Issue
rifle
is like 30 fucking pounds. Yeah, like, it's like walking around with a kettlebell. Like, you know, just, they're heavy as shit.
that
It's like
have
you
to be able to manipulate rather quickly
quickly. Yeah,
and
like,
accurately. Well,
Yeah.
not necessarily accurate with a Garand. You can kind of spray and pray with that. It'll tear a hole through a wall, but
yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, it's never gonna break. Like, you're never gonna, like, you're not worried about dropping it or fucking, you know, like, you could definitely hit plenty of things aggressively with the butt of that rifle and be completely fine. But, you know,
Yeah, I was about to say, you probably don't even have to shoot anybody. You just probably just knock the shit out of
just fucking
somebody with
whack
that thing.
people,
Just
yeah.
boing, you know, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Well, that's a thing that started. You know, they used to, like, back in like, we're talking about, like, Revolutionary War, 1812, stuff like that, right? There would be people that would be like 6 feet from each other. They both have bayonets, and they're sitting here shooting, reloading, and whatever. That because it was, they were more likely to not die that way, right? And not shoot the other person that way.
That just reminds me of that
You know?
Police Squad episode where they're like shooting at each other behind trash cans, and they're only like about 2 or 3 feet apart. So
Yeah.
I can see somebody
But
with
with the-
bayonets. Pow!
With the invention of, like,
reload.
repeating rifles, right, to where you can send a lot of ammo downrange very quickly, right? The amount of people who were choosing not to actually hit targets, right? You know, like, that became a statistic, right? How many soldiers are actually shooting to kill in those? It's fucking war shit's dumb, and I fucking hate even knowing it, like, you know. But it's just fucking History Channel got pumped into my brain forever when it actually showed things like history and not fucking
Hitlery?
pawn shops. Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Well, I remember for
You
the
know.
longest time, History Channel was the War Channel. And it was just like they'd always show you like World
it was
War I,
purely
World War
the
II.
Hitler channel for like.
It was the
Yeah,
Hitler Channel, yeah.
It was the Hitler Channel. Yeah, it went to the Hitler
well, it's
Channel.
like I made the mistake.
to
I made a mistake one time of watching one, like, World War II documentary on Netflix, and then for like a year and a half, it was just only like, so, like, you like Hitler, right? Here's another show about Hitler. Like, just fucking, just constant feed of, like, I'm like, how do I get out of this algorithm?
That's what the H stood for. The H for history, man. I thought the H was for Hitler, man. It was like Jesus.
You got to
And then
start
it went-
with Netflix and go straight to Bollywood afterwards.
Yeah, oh god. Yeah, that's my father's Netflix is the worst. He's now into, like, Korean soap operas and, like, you know, it's and the worst kung fu movies ever made. Like I mean, these are not Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain, Dad. These are way farther than that. Like, you know, this is like
that was a
triple
callback.
dunk.
Damn, the crossover episode callback of the Three Ninjas.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Three Ninjas, bro. Don't be hating on the Three Ninjas franchise. My fucking 14-year-old self will kick your ass. Like, fuck you.
Oh my
fucking
God.
Tom Tom's gonna fuck you up. You know?
I have no idea. You are speaking
Fucking-
Greek to me. I have no idea what these shits are.
There's some 90s kids in chat that are like, yeah, those fucking movies were fucking killer. They were like, dude, they were like Power Rangers crack, like, for fucking my generation. Like, it was literally, it had fucking Pat Morita, right? It had, the fucking cast is dumb. Like, Hulk Hogan, like, just the dumbest cast in, but I loved every bit of those films back then.
See, when I was coming up, we had you had like it was like 4 hours of that was like I said to somebody, I said that's the only time in my life I was ever excited about getting up on a Saturday at like 6 or 7 in the morning, you know. And so
Yeah.
you had like Super Friends, You had, I think there was Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner. They did that, and there was like some random ass shit. Arc 2. Okay, so it was a live action show, and it was this post apocalyptic. They were like in basically. It looked like it was supposed to be a futuristic looking van, but it was like an RV that had like some sort of little flexy thing in the middle. Anyway, and right. And they had a talking monkey on there, a talking chimp. I mean, you're talking around the time of like H.R. Puffin stuff, Sid and Marty Krofft shit, that kind of, like acid for breakfast, anyone? We've got what you need.
Johnny Quest. Johnny Quest
was in the mix for a while.
My pops is a big fan.
But then at 11 o'clock, you had you had either one of three things. You either had wrestling, like local or like regional wrestling. We had Mid-South wrestling. Kung Fu movies.
That's like Greco-Roman wrestling, right?
This was like, it's in somebody's like, fucking
backyard.
Somewhere. At the VFW or something, they set up a ring and like, oh, here comes so and so with a mask. He's got a chair. We gotta get some help VFW. Down here.
It's an elbow from the top rope. Fucking,
it was either those
No,
two,
Steve, are you okay?
Or Godzilla movies. You had like the monster movies too. You had like Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla.
I took Godzilla movies. I had the VHS tapes as a kid, right? And like I took them to like my preschool like show and tell, right? Like we watched, like I made people watch Godzilla movies in preschool. I'm like, no, these are masterpieces of cinema. Like, that they are seminal works. You have to, like,
they're so bad they're good. You know what I mean? That's one of those deals.
Yeah.
Somebody would throw like one of the monsters would throw a rock at Godzilla, and you could tell how that rubber would just go, and
there was one. I think it's in one of the fights with Mothra or whatever. He's literally like, he gains the ability to surf on his tail, like Godzilla, just like boo, like is just literally he's like on his tail, like fucking, and is just like moving around like. It's like they put him in a rolly chair and like roped him around or something, and then like edited out the fucking rolly bit. Like it was definitely some wire foo shit that was just they couldn't lift him higher than fucking like 2 feet or something, right? But
that's what I mean, right? So bad it was good.
So three ninjas had the stars they had in it, which weren't even like the main characters really. Lonnie Anderson, Jim Varney, and Hulk Hogan. Yeah, Jim Varney plays the villain, and it's fucking perfection. Like, it's a fucking dumb movie.
I gotta tell you, Jim Varney, extremely underrated. Jim Varney was he was so good. There was this,
when he did Shakespeare. I seen a thing with, like, he did Shakespeare, and it was like, just to like it's with Robin Williams, like
really
him and Robin Williams are just fucking around on set somewhere, and he starts doing like fucking like legit monologue, like friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears, cry havoc, let's lift the dogs of war. Like he's fucking and does it in like a collegiate, like perfect, pronunciation and meter and like. And then Robin Williams joins him and, like, does the other part immediately, like, in character. And then they slowly switch into redneck voice as they're doing it, right? Both of them. And then, like, fucking Robin Williams goes, like, super Filipino gay guy, like, just fucking, like... I rest in peace, Robin, because holy shit.
I would love to see a Robin Williams, Jim Varney collaboration. I'm gonna have to go look for that now. So
that's a Google. Speaking of Festivus, I do have. We don't necessarily have we have one. The Festivus pole is inside here, but this is a cast net tree. Ignore the broken lights because I couldn't get them working.
Nice.
So
that's cool.
But we do this every year instead of a Christmas tree. We just get a cast net and string it up and hula hoop at the bottom and put it on a Festivus pole.
Is that a Flo Rida thing? Is that you know?
My mom's been doing it forever. I think it's just a marine biologist thing.
It's a marine.
I don't know. You know, so George Costanza might have one.
Exactly. It all goes back to Seinfeld. Is anybody a marine biologist?
Marine biologist? My mother would be like, me. I'm the one. Like,
the best part of Seinfeld was the side characters. I didn't really give a shit about the main four. It was always just like, you know, just these like Uncle Leo and all these other cats that you'd rarely see. But when you did, you were like, oh, hey, it's good to see you.
Seinfeld is a fucking masterpiece of, like, I mean, most of them don't hold up now. Like, there's so many of the plot lines could be fixed with a cell phone, right? Like, you know, it's literally like how do we get in touch with Jerry? I don't know. Like, you know, it's like the funniest ones. I watched the fucking Risk bit the other fucking day. Where fucking Kramer's holding the fucking Risk board, running down like the fucking car's getting towed. Him and Newman are on the fucking A train, gonna go get it. Like, you know.
I tell you, living in New York though, I haven't. I'm very disappointed at the amount of puppety oddball nonsense like that. You know, I haven't seen anybody with a Frogger game trying to cross the street with it.
Cross the street.
You know, I haven't seen John Voight's car.
I saw a fucking thing the other day of a fucking this old guy is like on the fucking, you know, A train, and he's like giving shit to these fucking black ladies, and the black lady just like pours her fucking bottle of like fucking, you know, like Sprite out, fucking breaks the glass bottle, like, what now, motherfucker? And the other guy in the back is just like, can you not murder people? I gotta get to work. Like, you know, just the fucking, like, if y'all want to do that, get off. Like, you know.
Right.
Get off the fucking train.
Nobody really has sympathy or empathy for anybody around here. It's just like,
anybody.
Dude, don't fuck with my commute. I gotta get to work. Even more. It's like, I gotta get home. I'm tired. I don't need all this extra bullshit. Although I will say,
about to get fucked up on this A train tonight.
They have these. They have like usually like 2 or 3 little kids will dance on the trains. Right? You'll see them come on and they'll bring their little.
They'll be like box. Jumping around with the fucking holding on to things, pole dancing in the middle. Like
they put it down, and then you'll hear showtime, showtime, showtime. So that's when you know dances are coming. And I remember one day this kid was doing some sort of thing on the stripper pole thing, and he's swinging around and he knocks the shit out of this dude like fucking Spider-Man. I mean, he went whoop, and that dude went staggering back, and them kids got off at the next stop real quick. So
real quick. What is the most New York shit you've seen since you've been there? Like if you needed to make a postcard for your New York, like what would your New York like tourism board video fucking be? Because that's what I want. It's like, you want to really experience New York? Well, like, here, take Uncle Warren's fucking tours. Like
come with me to the train platform, and we'll watch somebody take a dump because they don't have bathrooms. So I've seen that. I've seen rats, a lot of rats down there. But I haven't seen the pizza rat though. But I did see a rat had I don't know, some sort of candy wrapper in its mouth, which is not as good. It's like the fucking pizza. The fucking I got a fucking pizza. Fuck up.
I just want to like go to. I want to go to like Chinatown where the rats got like bulgogi, fucking just fucking like running off with like a bowl of fucking like bibimbap and shit, like, you know, just fucking.
Say, I mean, I think the craziest shit I've ever seen is probably like either in a subway station, or on the train itself. I mean, because you'll always have that one guy. It's like, let's play a game of, is he talking to himself? Is he talking on his cell phone? Is he talking to anybody in the train? And normally, like 9 times out of 10, he's Yeah, he's talking to himself, but he's letting everybody else in, putting his business out on Front Street.
That's the thing about New York. The close proximity to the insane of the world is just like the density of insanity in New York is so high that like everyone is involved with like breakdowns and like, you know, like shit happens around like everyone, right? Like there's no
Right.
like if your significant other and you are fucking having a fight, everyone knows. Like you know, it's like you're not gonna, and no one. That's why fucking like people there don't give a shit like about like people's fucking judgment or what. Like they don't give a fuck because it's like fuck you, motherfucker. Like you know, like mind your goddamn business. Like you know.
Well, the thing too is, you gotta remember, all the gentrification too really kind of, I don't know, kneecapped the grit of the city. You know, like I've heard tales from like old schoolers around here. They'd say back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. You know, they said, yeah, this place was just like a war zone practically. You know, and you'd see all kinds of crazy shit, graffiti all over the place and stuff like that. Basically, like what you like that movie, The Warriors. Well, except for like people in the same like outfits and shit, but like
there's
graffiti
a movie
and shit all over the place.
There's a movie, and it's not like Breakin', right? It's one of the other like, and I can't remember, but all I remember from it was like it was at that time where like the fucking subways were covered. It was like a movie about graffiti, right? It was like at the height of like graffiti and shit, and like I remember they do this whole mural at a concert. There's a concert at the end of the fucking movie, right? Like with this like the dome. I don't know what that fucking domed like amphitheater thing is, but they did it over there, right? And like
was it in Central Park?
Yeah, it was like a bunch of shots in Central Park, and I'm like everything Central Park. Like we all know what Central Park looks like. Like it's fucking here. Like it's the fucking rock. We all know that rock. Like, you know, you're just like hanging out with nobody there, like pretending it's a fucking school playground. Like, you know, like no, it's fucking Central Park. But anyway, like the density of graffiti that was on the subways, that was on the fucking train cars. Like, it's just inside and out, covered. Like, and I'm like, why would you take that off your city? Like, just leave that shit there all the time. Because it looks badass. Like, it looks dope. Like, just leave it there.
It's like, because it was scaring the normies. It was like, you know, in the 70s, it was... That's when Gerald Ford famously said, you know, drop dead to New York, and because it was pretty much at rock bottom there. I mean, yeah, you had like Fred in the chat said he misses the seedy Times Square flop houses and peep shows. Yeah, right.
Yeah, before Disney and Lego, fucking.
Yeah, it's like Times Square is fucking. You know, it's Disney. It's like mini Disneyland. Yeah, it's great.
Well,
although
like
they do have the they still have the superhero people that you can take pictures with, and they're a little bit, you know, a little bit off their nuts. So you still got a little bit of the crazy in there, because you'll see like Pokemon and Spider-Man in a fight sometimes down there, but
Pikachu trying to fuck up somebody, like fucking
the fuck out of
that
Pokemon.
Classic one. There's classic one from Russia, right, where like it's fucking road rage. It's one of those Russian dash cams, and it's like the guy rolls up. You're seeing the dash cam from his video, and like he gets out the fucking car, like what the fuck's up, and like 3 mascots with like fucking Pikachu, Donkey Kong, and like Mario are fucking coming out. They fucking beat this dude's ass. Like, you're like, bro, this is fucking upsetting. Like, you know, like SpongeBob be out here fucking, you know, curb stomping people. Like, you can't be doing that, SpongeBob. You know,
who lives in a pineapple under the sea, fucker?
Sea. Fucker. I mean, that's what like that last Joker film or whatever, right? He's doing similar shit, trying to act out in fucking L.A. on the street, right?
Right,
but, like, there's something about New York that I find like it is a city like that everyone does have to interact with each other at some level. Like, you know, I like it's one of those like I don't know. I fucking love the idea of New York. That's the thing. It's like I couldn't afford to fucking live though for sure. The
No,
fucking
well, I
cost of living
I
there is insane.
the only reason I can live here is right now I'm in a glorified walk-in closet. So,
Yeah.
and my landlord is like really super cool. But he's like the last of the old school mom and pop places. He's like, I mean, I was very fortunate to get him, and it was a fluke too. I was looking for a place about. Yes, I've been here almost 9 years in this apartment, and about when I was looking for a place, I went to this one joint that was kind of a similar setup, kind of like a boarding house type thing where you rent a room and you share facilities and stuff. And the guy, I gave him like $100 security deposit, right? And this is how cheap this place was. And I come back. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we rented that place out, but I got a place for you way the fuck down, like Brighton Beach or something. And like from here to Brighton Beach is like a 2-hour commute or some shit." I said no, so I took my $100 back. And the good thing was, I'm glad I didn't stay there because they ended up demolishing that building like about a year later. So I'd have had to been looking for another place.
Moving out.
Brighton Beach is fucking crazy, man. That place is fucking. People don't know, dude. People don't know about Brighton Beach. And fucking, it's fucking wild.
You lived in New York, didn't you, for a while, Steve?
Huh?
Did you live in New York for a while?
I lived in Brooklyn. I live right off of the bridge in the Heights on 2nd and Hicks.
Oh shit!
Gotcha.
I'm not that far. If you go down Fulton Street, down to Flatbush, I'm pretty much right around there by Brooklyn Tech. So,
yeah.
Flatbush, city limits.
Now there's Flatbush, but
and then there's Nutbush. Yeah,
I was in Brooklyn in 1999.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Pre-millennium is when I was in Brooklyn.
Was there
what's like
were you starting to see the gentrification then?
Because it was that part of the Heights that was like half-ass upscale anyway. Like the apartments were shit, but you had nice restaurants. Yeah, a couple of boutique stores. There were a couple of like corner bars that were holding on, that would close from 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning to like, mop the puke and blood off the floor and then let you back in. But when I was there, I was a very bad kid, and I was doing very bad things. And I would leave my apartment in Brooklyn, and I would go sit on the FDR for however long up until I got to around 135th, and then go hit up the apartment with the red door, and then go back to Brooklyn and fucking hang out. And like, it was not an ideal, but I mean, I got to see a lot of Brooklyn that way. I got to experience firsthand multiple criminal underbellies of New York, and that was fun.
What would be your if you were the head of the tourism board of New York, what would you like have people go see? Like what's your New York tour guide stops? Like,
so I would you got to take people to Alphabet City.
Okay.
You've got to you've got to do it the way the Alphabet City works, which is if you're on A Street, you're all right. By the time you get to B Street, you're dead.
Okay.
And you have a river right there that's very convenient to dump the body in, so,
Nice. Perfection.
But, man, I really wish they would have preserved a lot of the architecture that was in and around Hell's Kitchen. I really wish that they would have kept enough, because they redid a bunch of like storefronts and shit. It looked like garbage. I don't know, man.
That's where Daredevil lives.
Yeah,
I know that place.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Brooklyn, but like everything that I liked about New York, I don't even know if it's there anymore.
No,
I really don't. You know what I mean?
Really
and that's sad
isn't.
as fuck. I feel the same way about Chicago. I feel the same way.
Well, it's like the cool shit is always pop up. anyway. Like the stuff that I would want to go do in New York is not like fuck Times Square, like fuck all that like standard shit, like New Year's bullshit. Like no, fuck you, ain't doing that.
That's
like,
the last
none
time
of that
I
shit.
get robbed by a tranny.
Yeah, like that's like it's like you're in New Orleans. Like no, I don't want to go to the fucking French Quarter. Why do I want to do that? Like
Right? Last
you
thing
know,
I want to do in New Orleans is get puked on by a tourist.
yeah, like I'm good. Like I can hold grenades at home. You know, like I don't need to go try to walk between 20 bars to get the same shitty drink that I could get at like the fucking daiquiri shop down the road for like fucking $4 a gallon. Like, you know,
Drive-through even.
yeah, drive through, like straight through, just fucking give me the fucking jug, bro. Double strength, tiger's blood. Thank you.
Well,
You
all the
like,
great
and a straw.
all the great hole in the wall joints around here are, there's a handful left. I think maybe if you go out to East New York, maybe Brownsville, you're going to still see a little bit of that old crunchy New York, you know, but even that's getting gentrified too,
Yeah.
you know. But
Well, it's like with COVID, I mean, you probably had all the fucking pop-up restaurants and shit couldn't do what they do.
Like, way
and
out in fucking Red Hook and shit.
oh, that's where IKEA is. So you know that's although
Oh, okay.
Red Hook is still keeping it real a little bit. You don't see a lot of like hipster development out that way. You know, you still have your food bazaars out there and that sort of thing. Kind of like where I was. The first place I lived was over there by Flushing and Broadway, up in at what I call the Bed-Stuy Bushwick county line, and there was a lot of great little hole in the wall joints there. Sunset Park is still keeping it real too, and there's like these really good like Hispanic restaurants down there. Just like, oh my god, we go down there and eat all the time because we don't want to. We don't.
I saw there was like a.
Well, I was
I
gonna
saw
say,
Munchies had a fucking Dominican restaurant in there in the Bronx. That was just like, I'm fucking down right now.
Yeah, South
like,
Bronx is still
you
kind
know.
of. It's not as crazy as it used to be, but it's you know, folks like us probably should if we ain't got no business down there, you know, we probably should.
Fucking.
You know.
Soy barica, no vinci. Like fucking. I'm all right. I'm good.
Puta madre,
You know.
hey.
Puta madre. Ay papi. Fucking. You know. Why you so stupid? Fucking. I love your fucking.
Oh, you stupid! Stop! Oh my.
You stupid.
I worked with this chick at what was it, Trader Joe's, like one of the jobs I worked here, and she was this Puerto Rican chick. I love her to death. And she would just be. I would always say stupid shit around her. She'd do one of those. You're so stupid.
Yeah.
Why you say stupid?
Ay bendito.
But I was always a day late and a dollar short going to these places. You know, I think I left the South too late because by the time I got out to L.A. in 2003, and it was already starting to.
We'll welcome you on back.
Clean
you
up.
Come down here anytime.
But and then I got to New York in 2009. Same thing. It was like, you know, Times Square was like Disney World, and you know, Brooklyn was just all, you know, $50 haircuts and man buns and you know, well trimmed beards, that kind of thing. So I mean, which, you know, if that's your bag, that's fine. But it just, you know, that just didn't scream New York.
Yeah, well coiffed beard
you know?
is now not awful, but I don't know. Like, how much do you think Jerry's apartment would cost? Like,
oh shit. Where did he?
Like, where's his apartment supposed to be? Like, because the diner is where? Like,
the diner is like up around 100 and something. I think it's 125th. I think on the west
over
side.
by Columbia.
What borough is that?
The diner is. The diner's like right over by Columbia University because I used to.
Is that Manhattan or?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
technically
Manhattan. Yeah, you're getting close to. Yeah, it's around like Columbia, like Harlem, that area there. We actually had pancakes there one time. Very tiny inside, very tiny. But you know, we just did it that one time.
Yeah.
My
well,
girl
it's supposed
is
to just
local.
be like your local. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was
ahead.
like, neither one of us, me and my girl lived, she lives on the Lower East Side, so she's very well versed in the steeped history of Alphabet City around there. So, we're always like, and you go to Alphabet City now, she tells me, she's my Manhattan correspondent, so she keeps me abreast of all things Manhattan over there, and she's like. I said, well, what about East Village? Oh, yeah, it's all hipsters. What about Avenue A? Hipsters. Avenue B? Partial hipsters. What about C? May want to... Like you said about South Bronx, unless you got business there.
Doesn't Bill Burr have a bit about that, where he's, like, going into fucking, like, once you get, like... You got to go through all the celebrated, like, black leaders. Like, once you get past Martin Luther King and make it to, like, Mumia Street, like, you're, that's, you got to fucking, you got to be careful around there, like.
Boulevard, you're fucked.
Yeah, yeah, like, you got to be careful. Like, it's like he was going to go see his, like, now wife, right? And he was like, you were just leaving, like, away from, like, where you live, and it's just, like, you start not recognizing landmarks, so you're like, why is there suddenly large groups of pit bulls? Like, like...
When did this turn into Grand Theft Auto 4? I mean, what the... everybody's walking these dogs. Although
he goes through a whole thing. Like, I'm sure the brothers coming over to the fucking white lady's house, like, they're going out to the suburbs. They're like, there's a severe lack of liquor stores here. What's wrong? Like,
I'm supposed to get a check cashed in this place.
Oh, right? Yeah, like... I think that's like I've never been to New York, and I know almost nothing about it other than like what you see in fucking television. And every New Yorker I've ever met, like anytime you don't know like where they're talking about or what borough it's in, it's like, what do you mean you don't know? It's the fucking southwest Bronx. Like, you don't. It's like right there. Like, I'm like, dude, I've never been. Like, I barely know like 4 boroughs. Like. I know Manhattan, Long Island, Bronx, Brooklyn, like...
Right, and then you got
Harlem.
the neighborhoods. It's like you got your boroughs, and then you got all those neighborhoods, like he was talking about Hell's Kitchen. Manhattan, Manhattan, but there's Hell's Kitchen, there's downtown, there's Midtown, there's like Murray Hill, there's Upper West Side, Upper East Side, just like, Harlem, all that shit, so...
Yeah.
And I don't
you forget how massive the city is, like...
Yeah, it is. It's pretty... At least to Steve's credit, he was able to like drive around this joint. I haven't driven a car. I don't think in close to like 20 years.
Like Jamaica Heights and fucking.
I would go nuts if I had a car here now. I would have so much road rage. I would be in jail so many times. I mean, seriously.
Yep.
I mean, talk about going to Avenue C and dumping bodies in the river. Yeah,
I saw
sign me up.
Electric bike sales in New York have went like way up.
There are a lot of... You know what? It started with the delivery guys. The delivery guys, they all have electric bikes, and now all of a sudden you
e-bikes.
Just like...
I just got one.
And now they got e-bikes. Dope. Yeah, it's... Well, I
can go right up to the dollar store, come back.
Here's the thing about those. It's like, okay, if you're driving those on the street, that's all well and good. But then you're at the mercy of still psychotic drivers in New York. So otherwise, then they think, oh, it's a bike, so I can ride it on the sidewalk, and then you end up pissing off the pedestrians, that sort of thing.
The pedestrians.
But they are everywhere.
It's not like there's enough room for a bike lane. Like,
well, and if you want parking in this town, good luck with that. You might as well pay a second rent. You know what I mean? Because it's like
you need like a one wheel or a little electric skateboard. That's what you need.
They got those there. I see those
scooters
too,
or something. Yeah, like, and people are just like, that's the way to get around. Like, why park? Like, take the fucking train to like do macro scale transport, and then like you got to get to what, couple blocks over, pop on the fucking, rocket shoes, and
yeah. I mean, if you got a car here now. I mean, if you're not paying out the ass for like a garage to park, like mostly that's what you would do in parts of Manhattan. Although there's street parking, but street parking is always at a premium. And then you got to move the shit when the street cleaners come in during the week, and then plus maintenance, insurance, gas, all that. It's great to have it if you want to to get up, get out of town, you want to go upstate, or you want to head south or whatever. But but other than that, I would say I would just rent a little car. I wouldn't want to have a car here. It would just, like I said, I would murder somebody. I probably would. I know me. I'm very peaceful. But like Sam Kinison
Gatling guns
said,
on the front of it.
Sam Kinison, I know it. I said I'm a peaceful guy, but I know it turns Mr. Hand into Mr. Fist. So he was talking about something
I want to see the episodes of Batman where he's stuck in fucking traffic on the fucking fucking God damn it, Robin! I said we should take the expressway. Just fucking.
There's some wreck on the BQE and Batman's over there just
fucking
son of a bitch! Bat fuck!
What was it? If all cops are Batman, or all cops are bastards, Batman's one too. Fucking fuck
all
Batman.
All cops are Batman.
Spider-Man's the only fucking one. He's just trying to make it in fucking Brooklyn, bro. He was accepting fucking a couple $1,000 to fight fucking Macho Man Randy Savage, right? Fucking Bonesaw, fucking.
Oh, speaking of which, I hear that new Spider-Man is really good, and
I heard it was awesome.
Yeah, that people been taking
the last one.
They've been taking a dump on Marvel movies since
so good.
Yeah, since
great.
Endgame, everybody's been taking a dump on Marvel properties and stuff, as they should, because it's been crap. But I really want to see the Spider-Man, because I listen to this guy. I think Oz knows about him too. The Critical Drinker. He's like a movie reviewer guy. He's this Scottish guy. He does movie reviews drunk. It's great. And
you got to check out Red Letter Media too. You'd like them. They're also drunk movie reviewers.
He's a smart guy, and he doesn't usually. He's hated all these Marvel properties, the TV shows, then the movies since. But he said this was just unbelievable. So
I think it just feels the reason why I don't like them is they feel so fucking squeaky clean, mega money fucking production. It's just fucking mass entertainment nonsense. There's no I just feel dirty even fucking watching one. The amount of fucking exploitation this movie has to have to fucking get pulled off.
Yeah, there's too much what he Drinker calls the message in the movies. It's you don't want message in your Marvel movies. You want to see Hulk beat the shit out of somebody,
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is and this is a problem with the movie industry as a whole, the price points for movies, you're talking about either you're doing, a complete indie, A24 for, a couple million, right? Or you're doing mega billion, fucking $50 million, blockbuster shit that they have to recoup all their money on, so they're going to turn it into a franchise, they're going to try to sell fucking, they're going to try to fucking sell the Dune Navigator to kids, to fucking, limited edition David Lynch Navigator plushie.
I want an action figure of the Benny Jesuit lady that's bald that says, "Get out of my mind."
Look up right now. Look up the David Lynch action figures. They made them. I'll do it. I got it.
I had a buddy in elementary and junior high that he collected all the Star Wars shit. I'm pretty sure he's probably had some of that Dune shit too. Because I remember it was kind of random that those things were out. Who's buying this shit? Because the movie when it came out, back in '84, I think everybody was just you either really loved it or you hated it. There was really no middle ground back then. I loved it. I thought it was just so over the top great.
Shit, that's not Zoom. How do I fucking open image a new tab? Sure. So
I don't know, man.
They have the action figure includes, right, the fucking cat with the rat duct taped to the fucking Siamese cat. They put that in the action figure, and I fucking love it. Like who? Like what kids? Like cat. I really need fucking Baron von Fartbag, like to finish my collection.
Fade.
Like
Fade.
Also, who the fuck was fucking Raban? Why do I not remember this fucking guy?
Raban?
Like,
wait, what's he look like?
He looks like the fucking ginger in the fucking power armor.
Oh, okay. He was the plump Harkonnen. You had Sting.
Oh, he was the other Fade. Harkonnen. There was there was Baron Harkonnen, and then Fade is Sting, and then there's the other brother, right?
Yeah, the other, the pleasantly plump Harkonnen. Yeah.
So, Stilgar of the Freeman.
Also, I know
David Lynch.
Patrick Stewart was in that, and I think he's always been bald, because he was bald in that too. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Picard, the fuck, man, get some hair plugs like Shatner. What the hell's wrong with you?
The show I watch, Red Letter Media or whatever that I was telling you about, they had a fucking problem with Shatner. Shatner fucking got like super pissy at them. And it wasn't even their fault. It was like people literally essentially asked him to like come on the show, and he was like, I don't do podcasts. And then people sent him, like, he went on with Mike Tyson on his podcast. It's like, yeah, but you do go on podcasts, like, you know. And he was all upset, and then he felt like these fucking people were like, you know, they were fucking like sending their fucking like audience there to harass Shatner, and they just had to go like, please stop attacking Shatner.
He's like 90 years old.
We don't
just
like him to hate us. Yeah, like he was just. But it was also Shatner wouldn't watch any of their shit. Like he had watched one thing, right? And like they were like making fun of people who like make fun of the fucking like. It's like you didn't watch it in context, bro. Like they love Star Trek. Like you don't understand. Like he's like, I don't care. They fucking like they made fun of like the Star Wars. They did a parody. They have a parody of like the Star Wars podcast that's just fucking all up Star Wars' Disney ass, like, you know, and that's all they fucking talk about or whatever. And they did a whole fucking like fake, like they turned themselves into that show as a parody, right? And it's fucking hilarious. They also do Best of the Worst, where like, you know, they watch like Surviving Edged Weapons or the Star Wars Christmas special or, you know, one of those fucking things. Drunk. They're all out of Minnesota.
That's Star Wars Christmas special. Jesus Christ! I do not know who greenlit that motherfucker, but
Cocaine greenlit that.
Cocaine greenlit that. I know what we need. The Wookiees. We need an entire backstory of the Wookiees in their own language without subtitles. On television, no less.
We need Jefferson Starship miniature version inside of a box that Art Carney opens, and we can hear their fucking acid trip song too. I mean, jeez. When I was a kid, I gotta admit, I was like a super Star Wars fan. And today, I'm like, I don't give a shit. But back then, I was like,
don't knows if Misa can be.
I was
so
just into
fucking.
You're silly. I was so into that, and like, okay, you're gonna give me a Christmas special with Star Wars, all right? And you're what? Art Carney? What the fuck is this shit? Is Starship? What the shit? I was like, it was just like you kept going down this rabbit hole of fuck. You know, like,
we gotta watch this. We gotta watch. Where does this end? We gotta watch Hodorowski's Dune.
I've seen that.
I've yet to watch the whole documentary, and I've watched clips of it, and it's just looks fantastic. Like, you know, if that movie got made, it would be fucking ridiculous. Like, this is the guy who made the Golden Temple. Like, it is not gonna be the movie you want it to be in your head. Like, it's great visuals. You got Giger on it. You've got like they were gonna have fucking Orson Welles play Baron Harkonnen, like a fucking Mick Jagger's gonna play. Like, yeah, it would have been the most ridiculous film ever made. Like,
well, it was going to be like about 5 or 6 hours too, and that's one of the reasons the
well, they were going to give Lynch
said, no,
right.
Well,
Lynch wanted it to be another 2-3 hours long, right?
Well, yeah,
originally.
he wanted his version to be, and they said no, and then it was so fucked up. He said, "Just take my name off of it, and I don't want to be associated with this anymore." So
yeah, but he'll leave it on fucking those other shit. Lynch will leave it on other stuff. Like, he's gonna leave it on fucking Escape from New York 2 or whatever the fuck. He'll leave it on there. Or what's the
David Lynch doing Escape from New York? I'm just trying to.
No, I'm thinking of Carpenter. What else?
No.
Lynch
Let's stay with Lynch.
Lynch doing other movies. Let's like fucking Christopher Walken doing fucking other shit, like
Christopher Walken in The Shining.
Yeah, fucking. Whoa! Wait, I gotta fucking get it.
Wendy,
Wendy,
light of my life. Give me the bat.
Light of my life. Give me the bat.
Steve,
play and
Steve said I did not sign on for bad Christopher Walken impressions.
Bad impressions? Yeah. Fucking.
He may be bad impressions. He might be good for that, but the bad Walken impressions, I don't think anybody's down for that.
Gilbert Gottfried would also show up.
Fucking.
Wendy, darling,
Gilbert.
Light of my life, give me the bat. Give me the bat, Wendy.
Fucking.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Kaiser Soze.
Open the Bombay doors, Hal.
Fucking. Who would play fucking Hal 9000 though? That would have to be fucking. Like, I want, like, Samuel L. Jackson. I can't do that, motherfucker. Fucking just,
What the fuck are you doing, Dave? Damn, Dave.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Dave. I really want, like, they're gonna do that in, like, fucking, with like, the metaverse, and, like, they're downloading, like, they've already done, like, who the fuck? Leia's already CG, like, completely.
Yeah.
Like, the one in the new Blade Runner, they had the fucking lady, like, digitized and stuff. It's gonna be the thing where it's like they're gonna redo, because we can't have any new material, right? We have to redo stuff, but then they're gonna cast other people. It'll be like fucking fucking De Niro as, like, SpongeBob. Like, it's just gonna be, they're just gonna copy and paste the algorithms into, like, have you seen, there's like an AI that will take, like, people's songs, and then the AI will actually know how to musically be what the Beach Boys were, and then they'll just put in, like, 3-6 Mafia, and then it's just the Beach Boys version of, like, apple bottom jeans, right? Like, and it's just fucking the worst.
I actually really like the Cleverly's version of apple bottom jeans.
Yeah. It's a fucking. It's a sleeper song. I think I have. Heard that one.
It's just, fucking studio bluegrass cover. But
yeah, like, I've heard bluegrass shit of, like, fucking Jump, like, just random.
Have you guys ever heard of
actually legit?
Hearing a high tenor be like, she hit the flow.
yeah. Low. I fucking, that's great.
Like that Cotton Eye Joe song.
They got that apple bottom jeans and the boots with the fur.
I'll tell you this though. There's this group called Hayseed Dixie, right? And
Hayseed, I've heard of Hayseed. Yeah,
they do bluegrass covers of, like, all kinds of songs, and they are amazing.
Damn. Those guys are not fucking around. Have you ever seen them?
No, I want to though.
I think my buddy knows Hayseed.
That's a fun show. That's a fun show.
Yeah,
it's
like my buddy's friends, like, with Colt Ford. I don't know if you guys ever experienced that bit of country music appropriation.
I met the Hayseed Dixie guys at like a Merle Fest or something in West Virginia years
Nice.
ago, North Carolina.
It's like the episode of Parks and Rec with Ron Swanson is just listening to Willie Nelson all day in like hi-fi fucking like headphones and can't hear anyone. And it's just in his head. It's just like fucking the softest Willie Nelson shit, and it's fucking gold. Like,
I accidentally got turned on to Hayseed Dixie. Somebody was playing a buddy. This when I was still living in North Mississippi. We were at some gathering, and it's always that guy pulls out the guitar and starts playing. But he was pretty good, and he started playing the Hayseed version of Gin and Juice.
yeah.
Wow!
Speaking
Speaking
of Mississippi, my uncle made me look up Jerry Clower.
Jerry Clower.
Clower, that's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot this thing! Yeah, Jerry Clower.
Yeah.
And he had a raccoon's face
Coon
on his
hunting
coat.
story. Yeah. Yeah.
Marcel, Udell,
Tater.
Odell, Bardell, Claude, Nugene,
Bardell,
and
Tater.
Clovis.
Tater rides the moped. Tater.
He would. I think he made an appearance on Hee Haw at one point, and because you
I
had
can see
to,
that.
you were legally obliged to watch Hee Haw Saturday nights at 6 p.m.
I would always get it wrong. I would always say it was Kanye Twitty, and now in my head I want Kanye to do a Conway Twitty song. Yeah.
That's fair.
Hey,
That's fair.
he said, "I'm loving her today." Kanye.
He was a fucking excellent guitarist, if I'm not mistaken. But
I
yeah,
tell you,
ladies and gentlemen, Kanye Twitty.
Hee Haw was
fucking-
very, very underrated. Like, I mean, if you grew up with it, like, and you appreciate, I love the music on Hee Haw.
It
was
definitely
so good.
wouldn't have gotten made today, but it was definitely like,
If you ever want to see the best of fucking Hee Haw, you have to watch The Odd Couple.
yeah.
Because Roy Clark showed up
Oh.
on an episode of The Odd Couple as
Yeah.
one of Oscar's friends.
Yeah.
And was, like a multi-instrumentalist. But there's
Yeah, it was just doing like flamenco and shit, right? Just killing.
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
this scene at the end
yeah.
where he's like, "Can I do something for myself?" And he just goes through like 5 different genres of music and does this like almost like slap and pop bass technique and shit. Like you could imagine
Yeah.
fucking 17-year-old Les Claypool watching that episode,
Yeah.
being like, "Fuck it, I could do that."
Yeah, who's the other crazy bassist? He just recently started a fucking it's not
Wooten?
no, the other side of stuff. Not quite as like he's played Wooten before, but give me like he comes up in my fucking YouTube feed all the time. They had him on it's Les something, but I don't know if it's Claypool or
I mean, there's really only one bass player named Les. Warren, go handle your shit, buddy.
oh, I think that was Indy.
Oh, Indy. Oh, okay.
Indy was putting shit in. Yeah, it's not Claypool. Who the fuck is it?
Wait, who's trying to?
He's
is
like got a
somebody knocking
crazy
on the
long
door?
beard. No, like,
Because I don't see anybody
Bass.
here besides you fellers.
right?
While you're looking at that,
Not Larry Graham.
Steve Cutler live. What's up, buddy? Charlie Brown's
Les Allen?
Rebellion.
I don't know.
I'll find it.
Voltaire,
But he's been doing
Velvet
crazy
Trance,
good shit, like
Hello,
going through
Dog.
his old stuff. When I say it, I'm gonna be like, why couldn't I fucking remember that guy?
Lester Holt?
I'll find it. It's
Lester Holt.
I had to go to professional.
What?
Professional.
The guy on NBC
I just
News?
Plays bass. He's in a fucking Les Holt is a fucking.
just go through all the bass players you know, just like Geddy Lee, like
for like 40
yeah, Larry Graham, fucking Bootsy Collins. You'll get it
I just heard
eventually.
Lester
Like there's
Holt,
only
and I
so
was
many
like,
of
really?
them.
I mean, I'm not
Lester
hating. I'm
Holt.
just saying that. I was like, that's
But when he gets to
Brian
Paul
Williams.
McCartney and shit, like
Sting. He was a pretty good bass player.
Sting. Yeah.
Back when the Police were good. And then now he's like doing like 15th century lute songs or some shit like that. I'm like,
fucking what is he?
happened to
Jethro
you, man?
Tull?
Come on, man.
Like,
Ghost in the Machine.
Dude, my father tortures me all day. He puts on the Inya radio station on fucking Pandora. Like, and I feel like that must be what they play in Guantanamo, because if I ever hear like fucking Celtic Woman or like, you know, fucking
Caribbean
Yanni
Blue.
ever again.
Come on, man. Caribbean
Like,
Blue.
yeah.
You got to be in a
Ugh.
mood for Enya. You know what I mean? You got to be like at a Hot Topic or something. I don't know.
Leland Sklar. Leland Sklar. Did worked with Phil Collins, James Taylor. Like that guy. But he's been putting out a bunch of fucking shit of just like
did he play bass for Peter Gabriel too?
Possibly, yeah, I think. But I know it was like he literally has he just recently made it to like 200K subscribers, just about. He's like 189, right? But he's just like going through like, here's Susudio, right? And he's just playing Susudio on his YouTube channel, right? Like, you know, like he turns the 8-track on. He's still got, and like, you know, fucking he looks like a fucking wizard. Like look at this fucking old bass wizardman. You know?
Was it when
like
Peter Gabriel was with Genesis and was it the Carpet Crawlers? Was that the Lights Go Down on Broadway? That was another good one too. He was really good
Holy
with
shit,
Genesis.
it's Rob Juno.
Santa Claus is rocking your ass.
It's fucking like that's what I want. I want this is what they need to do. Whoever's in fucking Hollywood, we can make this happen. We got to get all the guys from ZZ Top, right? Like we got to get fucking Leland Sklar. We've got to get like all the old wizard dudes, right? To just fucking do like Santa bullshit, you know. I would be very, very okay with that.
As long as you had Rob Zombie out there,
yeah,
you know, fronting it.
We'll bring in Marilyn Manson. He could play Krampus. You know,
Marilyn Manson can play the rapist in the background.
Yeah, dude. How did fucking Rose looked out on that one? I guess, huh?
Well, she got out.
Yeah, like, and then found the other fucking asshole.
I want Rob Zombie to remake Roadhouse. If we're gonna remake Roadhouse, I want him to make it. I don't know
who's gonna play Swayze's part. Like
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul is Swayze in Roadhouse. I just made a studio $180
what he did to fucking Tyron Woodley. The shit he did to Tyron Woodley was fucking ridiculous.
We're not worthy.
I haven't witnessed a hate crime like that in a while.
Oh my god, that fucking check left hook like over top of his dude, and just
really
like
hope Woodley's check was nice.
The sweat spray rainbow across the fucking canvas, like, like right in front of his mother. Like, how you got to do a guy like that? Like,
did they ever finalize?
You know, I mean, I know he made hella bank, but
did they ever finalize that Jake Paul Tyson? Is that gonna happen?
I think so.
No,
I hope.
Not from what I understand. I thought that
please
was because he wants to fight fucking.
Please, boxing gods. Please. Oh, dude, he's gonna fucking. If he could do that to Woodley, Masvidal should be like, you know.
Yeah, but no, because fucking Jorge's at least like in shape and shit. Like it.
Yes.
Fighting.
Yeah. For sure.
Last fight was Jake Paul, right?
Right, but I wouldn't say Masvidal like Masvidal's a brawler. Like you know, like he meets people in the fucking middle. you know, and hopes that dude, Wonder Boy put him fucking in the dirt for like ever, and like, you know, the minute someone grabs him, like, luckily he wouldn't have to deal with wrestling, like, but it's very similar to like I would love to see I think one of the Diaz brothers wants in on that fucking cash
Joey
grab,
Diaz.
and if
I want to see
anyone,
Joey Diaz in it.
No, Nate.
well, Joey
Nate
Diaz is a fucking
in on it. Nick should be the one that fucking fights him, but
yeah.
because
I
if
mean,
he hits Nate and he pisses
that
him
Stockton
off,
slap
Nate's
is gonna
wreck
fucking
out,
yeah.
He's gonna kill him. In the fucking
Oh my god. Well, it's like you're gonna tell Mike Tyson he's got an old man jab. Do you want to die? Like,
Not in
that's
person.
You know,
Maybe over
like what?
maybe
okay.
on Zoom. I'll tell him on Zoom as long as I'm not around. Him.
I'll tell him.
Like, I wouldn't even want to hold mitts for Mike Tyson, let alone like, have you seen his mitt guy? What's his I should fucking know that guy's name. He's over at Shoot to Box. But like Javier something, like, he looks like terrified holding mitts for Tyson.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he's fucking like almost always falling backward, like, you know, like, just as the mitt holder. Like, I couldn't imagine. We're supposed to have next fight is like what, the 18th of January. I definitely want to not have How Did We Miss That, so I can watch Francis Ngannou Cyril Gane, because that's gonna be fucking insane. Pena Nunes should be in the works very soon.
Is a Tuesday.
Is it? What am I
Yeah.
thinking of? It's going to be a fucking Saturday, but it's like the 16th or the 18th, something like that. I looked it up the other day. We're not having
You got
fights
the
till like
15th
next
or the
year, so
22nd.
yeah. So, but yeah, like I'm fucking ready for that fight. That fight's going to be crazy. Francis Ngannou's got that sand mine strength, bro. It's going to be... But watching Gane fucking piece up the Black Beast was disheartening in Houston. I fucking like that guy. Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
Fucking... But...
Although, wasn't Derek Lewis a cop?
Maybe.
So I remember, like, post-fight, he was like, look, dude, how many times in your life do you get to beat the fuck out of the cop?
Yeah. Do you know Ronnie Coleman?
I'm familiar with the name, yeah.
Yeah, he used to be like Mr. Olympia. Like Coleman Cop Inter. Like, imagine you're pulled over, right, by that man. Like, no, officer, I don't know my own name. What do you mean? Like, fucking, like, look at this fucking, like, look at the phone in his hand. Like, yeah, can I get, like, 2 buckets of ice cream, and a pizza? You
That
know,
guy's a
no, dude, he
fighter?
fucking ate
Is he?
clean as shit. No,
That's
he was
the-
a bodybuilder. Ronnie Coleman was fucking, like, this is the classic ACAB shot of him. But yeah, I imagine people are like, yep, we're going to jail? Sure. Just don't hurt me. You know? Like,
Wasn't that just like the size of the guy that was in the jail cell with Epstein? Wasn't it just like some big meathead, like, worked out ex-cop that was like, you know...
you know, no clue. But yeah, Ronnie Coleman.
Because
Like,
when...
imagine that stepped out the fucking, like, the Bronco, you know? Like,
I remember...
fuck that.
people saying that when Epstein offed himself, that dude was in there and that he may have done the deed. But I was, you know, it was like, well, yeah, that sounds about right. Because this guy was huge. It's like, I mean, he wasn't that huge, like as big as that motherfucker, but he was still like one of those, like, you know, didn't have a neck. You know, it was like dead, like the fucking steroided out shits.
Yeah, he was
I'm sure it was a coincidence that they were in the same
the
cell
PE
together,
instructor at Bohemian Grove. You mean? Like,
oh, I love me some Bohemian Grove. That was my first taste of Alex Jones.
The Illuminati.
I used to, when he was like out there, saying 9/11 was an inside job. I was like, fuck yeah, man! You goddamn right, it was an inside job. All these people, are,
my buddy had the same. Like, I had a buddy that came from that side of the political. Like, he went from Glenn Beck to Jones to, like, fucking Jimmy, and then the rest of them. Like, he went that way, And I was like, cool. But like, that's what. Well, Alex is a fucking. He's set up to fucking fuck up stories, right? Like, he turns that Monsanto making more frogs hermaphroditic into they're turning the freaking frogs gay. Like, that one. I mean, there's Epstein's involved with Bohemian Grove, I think, right? Like, sure, I saw a fucking article on that somewhere. But I mean, I don't know.
That was the around when I moved out to L.A. in 2003. I was working at Borders Books, and I would read a lot of. I read a lot of David Icke books, and I also was kind of following along with Alex Jones, because I was like, yeah, I had total questions about 9/11. I was just like, yeah, Building 7, yeah. Come on, dude, nobody can ever explain that shit.
Building 6,
like the whole Michael Moore documentary and shit, right? Like, I remember my father watching that shit, like.
God damn, and I watched all those Loose Change movies. Next time you see Jason, man, Chef's Kiss, that shit was really good. It was like, holy fuck, like I've even talked to people in New York that were there that day, that were working down there, and they were talking about hearing explosions long before the before the towers came down underground. And, the girders cut at 45-degree angles.
Yeah. Well, and we all know, jet fuel can't melt steel beams, but, like, fucking, I don't, like, we all know what happened. Like, regardless of if they set it up or not, like, they definitely used it to fucking,
An office fire will cause, from flaming debris through a window, on the 38th floor of building.
Plenty of wooden furniture and
structural collapse in under
plenty of flammable shit in there. The admins still have their fucking cabinet full of gin and vodka and fucking whatever up there, like, cigars, like plenty of flammable shit.
And as the towers are going down, everybody's seen these videos where you see like the poofs coming out, the little it looks like there's explosives going off.
I watched the whole thing. Beams. I think Rogan had on. So there was some engineer that like talked about it and like exactly how it fucking like why it did that. And
I had Richard Gage on at the beginning of the year from Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth.
Yeah,
it was right after their documentary 7 came out. That came out. That documentary came out on Human Rights Day.
Like, it's very plausible that a 747 going full clip with that much fuel plus whatever explosives were brought, like, could have easily done that. But it's also would have been easy to set up and fake from, a manufacturing consent standpoint. So,
Well, too, and
like,
the
either
pilots, the pilots weren't exactly, Gus Grissom and, they Chuck Yeager.
Yeah, they came to Florida to learn to fucking fly. Yeah.
Yeah, and they said they were washouts at the.
Yeah. They didn't need to land.
Yeah, allegedly.
I don't know.
Yeah, but Southwest pilots follow the same training, so what are we? Dude? Me and fucking Indy did a whole thing on the Southwest uniforms being poison. Like, they went from people complaining that they didn't have enough uniform, right? That they were making women dress too scantily, right? And then they went to like a fucking 75-piece uniform that caused fucking like skin cancer or some dumb shit like that. And I'm like, the craziest thing about it was just the fuck you of like, oh, you want more clothes? Fine. Here's 75 fucking pieces. And me and Indy were like, wait, what the fuck? Is it like fucking flare? Do they not have enough flare on? Like, Like,
You have the bare minimum required flair. That whole thing really just, and I read other books about it too, about like, and there's the BBC video where the chick's like talking about how Building 7 went down, and it's right over her fucking shoulder, hadn't even gone down
shoulder.
yet. It's like, yeah, you know, it's just, you put all these little pieces in a basket together, maybe they don't all fit together, but you still have a shit ton of pieces of like, what the fuck?
Speaking of Days of Remembrance, don't we have the terrible trauma that was January 6th coming up?
So this is kind of funny. On January 6th at about I don't know 11:30 in the morning, I was standing right by the ellipse and the Washington Monument, and there was a giant backpack pile because you couldn't take it in to go see, you know, Daddy Donnie. And there was the human like cattle gate for everybody, a little processional to walk through. And I'm standing there with Jason Bermas and Dylan Avery, the other guy who directed Loose Change.
Yeah.
And we're like, did it feel weird to anybody? Like it had been this lame kind of day drunk Woodstock thing up to that point. And as soon as Giuliani got off the stage with his fucking Nosferatu looking ass, like the whole like mood.
That's a fucking compliment for him.
Dude, he's a scary fucking... I didn't realize how tall he was either.
Yeah.
Not a short man for being so hunched over and decrepit.
Really, Giuliani? I thought he was a shorty. How tall is he?
No, when he walked off stage, because I was leaving, Andrew had clerical shit he had to do for work, so we didn't march up to the Capitol. We hopped in his car, went back to the Airbnb, and fucking our phone started blowing up when the fucking tear gas and gunshots started going off. So then we hauled ass back down. But the direction that we were walking away was the direction that Rudy was walking out to get into the car that brought him there. And yeah, dude, he was like a full head over half of the people that were walking around him and most of the crowd.
I didn't know that.
Still kind of hunched over, but...
Apparently,
yeah, this has been absolutely delightful, but I gotta
bro.
run, and I actually have like 2 other shows I'm supposed to be popping.
Yeah, name dropper. I know you're a busy man. I appreciate you taking the time that you did tonight. Happy Festivus to you, and I hope to get you
to you as well, gentlemen, and have a very mellow, low impact, low stress holiday season, and may the love of Jesus shine upon you always.
Oh,
Jesus works at the bodega down there. He's always shining goodness.
Fucking Jesus is a cool guy. Yeah,
he gives me the neighborhood hookup. Yeah, he's awesome. I love Jesus.
All right, man. Namaste, friend.
All right, brother. Take care.
Peace. Fucking vegan gun bullshit. Namaste. I don't know.
Where did Indy?
I don't know. Indy must. I think Indy fell in. Yeah, Indy fell in somewhere. I don't know. Do you have him in like a waiting room or something? Like,
I don't think so. No. Okay. I like I said, I hadn't fucked with this thing. I mean, I see his message, and he said he was going to go to the little boys' room. What, the little boys' room in Cleveland? Where the hell?
Yeah. I always choose the little comedians room. That way I can go hang out with Joe Pesci and fucking Kevin Hart. And like, you know, like they're all in there.
What's his name? Like, who's the dude that's like super into Star Wars? Who's that guy? He's a dude too. You know, Patton
Oswalt. Yeah. Danny DeVito's over there. Like, you know.
That is crazy. I didn't know that about Rudolph Giuliani, though, that he was tall. I gotta see how tall
he's 5'9". I looked up, and
that's not tall.
You were setting up bullshit. They didn't know they stacked shit that high. I feel like that was the setup, and fucking Steve missed it. Like I would have just guessed. It would have like, I don't know, 6 foot. Like,
Steve must have been looking at him from an angle.
The suspect was from anywhere from like, 5'2" to like 6'8".
He could have had black, brown, blonde, or red hair.
Red hair.
Yep. He was. Yep. He or she Yes. I
couldn't
don't
quite tell. I didn't want to assume their gender, officer.
I know.
You know.
The two pronouns is they and y'all. That's you know.
Yep. They had a very non-distinct skin complexion. It was like a chameleon. Actually, it was really kind of strange.
I was thinking about my pronouns the other day because I don't ever think about it. I'm like, I guess I'm he, him.
Yeah.
I guess that's it, right? Or is there any more that go along with being a dude?
Well, I mean, it depends on, like, if we're gonna go super woke, right? Your sexuality doesn't have to do with your gender, right? So, you can like who you want and be who you want, right? Like, but you know, like, I don't know. It gets super confusing when for people who aren't used to dealing with it, but. You know, whatever. Fucking, I don't give a shit. Call yourself whatever you want to. I don't fucking care.
That seems like a relatively new development with that. And I don't know. I guess growing up, it was always like, you know, chicks and dudes. And, you know, that was it. You know, you had like, I mean, down south, you didn't have, at least I didn't know any trans people. I knew plenty of gay people, but I didn't know any trans people. And then you get to the cities,
like even,
and like that's where they are.
Eddie Izzard only recently came out as like he's now identified as, you know, a she, right? When he used to not do that. They used to ask him all the time, and he'd be like, "No, I'm just a man who likes to dress up in women's clothing and, you know, whatever." So like, you know, the whole Queen community kind of like pushed back on some of that a little bit, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
But you know, it's a whole, you know, like I was never taught that kind of history in school. I found a lot of that shit out afterwards, like riots that happened because, you know, clubs in New York were like kicking people out and trying to, like, you know, that there was, and then that sparked like actual change. You know, you have the what is his fucking name? Little Mustache does the movies about with Divine, right? Waters.
Oh, John
the
Waters?
Other Waters, not Roger Waters, right?
John
like he did a
Waters,
bunch of stuff. There's a whole video he did of like documenting a beauty pageant in New York of like queens, and it's fucking the best shit ever. The lady at the end, like it was like it was fucking racially like rigged a little bit, right? Where it was like it was always the fucking white drag queen that won, and the fucking like black lady from like fucking the Bronx was just like, I ain't fucking scared of this shit. Fuck you, you know, like, you know, fucking, I know I won. I'm fucking prettier than all those bitches, like, you know, and it was just fucking great.
That's funny you mentioned John Waters. Me and my lady friend were talking about him the other day, and Stephen Lucky in the chat. Since you're from Connecticut, this might interest you. In Kent, Connecticut, which you can like take the train upstate to close to there, and it's like this quaint little Connecticut town, you know, like the old school architecture and stuff. But we've been up there a couple of times for these adult summer camps, right? It's basically you can do all the shit you do at summer camp, but then you get like booze at dinner.
You put keys in a bowl, or is that the other camp? Is that the other adult summer camp? Where you put keys in a bowl and
for swingers.
Yeah, that's a fucking thing, by the way. There's like a swinger summer camp that's like famous, and it's like it's never the people you want at those functions, right? Like, you know, it's all fucking Danny DeVito motherfuckers, which like he's a very handsome man, but you know, like
I'll tell you this. So at that camp though, at those campgrounds, they also have a John Waters weekend where you can go up there and watch. Sometimes he shows up for it and does like Q&A and stuff, and you can like stay in the cabins and stuff. But we've
like
been up there.
His degenerate works, like
everything, you know, yeah. It's like a John Waters weekend that you have with him. But at that same
what's
place,
the one movie?
We went up there for.
Go ahead.
We went to. They have themes, right? So John Waters is one of them. Several years ago, well, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. We went up there. We went up there for a millennial weekend, and it was my girl's idea. I said, "What the hell, man? Why do you want to? What do you want? We're not millennials." And she goes, "No, let's go. It'll be fun." And sure enough, it was. But this past August, we went to a Gen X weekend, and that was fantastic. It was just like, it was so funny because there's like everybody my age, a little younger, were there, and old dudes and ladies were like trying to hook up and shit and wearing clothes that they had no business wearing. Oh, it was delightful. So, but that was in Kent, Connecticut. That's a beautiful area up there. I used to always go to John Waters' Christmas. Where was Velvet Trance in the chat? Where was
John Waters' Christmas?
I'm dreaming of a John Waters Christmas.
That's a very... You're going to have to get tested after that. You know?
Oh, I'm amazed we didn't get DMCA'd. What happened? I don't know. Oh, you mean for something else? Like STDs get tested? What?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I mean, like after John Waters' Christmas seems like a euphemism, you know, like that seems like an STD itself. Like, oh man, I got that John Waters Christmas. You know,
I got the John Waters
bro.
Christmas.
They got a cream for that, bro.
You get to need some ointments and some penicillin, and I'll be right as rain in no time. Yeah, I think Indy fell in. I don't think he's coming.
Yeah, he just sent me a fucking thing on Discord, and I'm like, where are you? Like, what are you doing? Where is everyone? People like gotta wait for like children to go to bed. You know, that's the problem.
Yeah, which I thought that was kind of weird that he was trying to get on earlier. I thought he was like dealing with the children.
Well, it's like he's got little windows, right? He's got like there's the window of I have to wrangle the cats to put them to bed, and like right before that he doesn't really have to do anything. Like his wife is preparing for that ritual, right? And then he comes in and he's like, "All right, fuckers, let's go," you know. Like,
okay, fuckers, all right. Yeah, I just put out the morning edition. I put out the evening one right now. You can't believe who I talked to earlier today.
Well, yeah, I know,
horrible, right? That's my horrible
New Jersey accent. It's a fucking It's like Joey Diaz. It's just fucking look, dog. Fucking shit's crazy. Do you see? Like, that Nancy Pelosi be fucking crazy.
Now I've been.
I love fucking. You ever heard Joey Diaz? Fucking talking about politics. It's the fucking funniest shit. There's a whole fucking rant he did on the church.
I've been to Fort Lee over there in Jersey, and that's basically all it is Joey Diaz is over there.
Fucking go get some Dunkin'.
I was riding my bike across the George Washington Bridge, and once you go across, you're in Jersey, right? So I'm over there, and I go to this this little bodega over there to get a drink or something. This guy comes in, and he's walking in. He's huge. He looks like Joey Diaz. It may have been Joey Diaz. I don't know if he lives in Fort Lee, but he was coming in. He was smoking a cigarette. He was going. I
think he's in Jersey City or Newark.
Oh shit! It may have been, because that's not far. Because you got so you got Fort Lee up here, and then as you come down the river, then you got like Jersey City. That's right across from the main shit, like downtown Manhattan, and then you've got like Jersey out in the middle of nowhere.
He was North Bergen for a while, I think.
I'm trying to think of where that is. Hey, Lucy's here. What's up, Lucy? Come
Lucy's
get in here, Lucy. I sent you a link, you silly biscuits. Come on. Join in the fun. We're having a great time. I got my... Wait a minute.
North Bergen is across the water from Manhattan. Like Hell's Kitchen, go across the bridge over towards 95. Right? I'm trying to think of it.
Okay, yeah, that's probably right. It's like between Jersey City and Fort Lee.
So like right here.
Fort Lee is is famous for when the bridge, bridge gate, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
And that's a hell of a bridge to
Yeah.
get clogged up too, like that.
When like
is
where
no
Tom Hanks set that plane down over here in the East River, right?
No, he did it in the
like-
Hudson. He did it in the Hudson.
Okay, so but it was like near Jersey, wasn't it? It was like
Well, yeah, because I mean that's you got Jersey on one side and
yeah, but
Manhattan
it was
on the
like
other.
it,
So
right.
he got
I was
it
just
like
trying to
right
remember.
in
It was
the
like
middle.
near. It was near.
Right
It was
in
like
the-
near this bridge because it didn't have to come over this bridge. Like I think he set it down like right in here. Like he had some space to put it down at.
Yeah,
But-
once you get towards the harbor down there, you because you have you have the George Washington Bridge, and but you don't have any more bridges until you get down to the Brooklyn Bridge, I think. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't drive, so I'm not sure. I don't do the bridges.
Where would you, if you like, if you were offering like a new person to come to New York, which I know you wouldn't, right? You'd be like, no, stay away, right? Like where would you tell them to like try to find a fucking spot to live that would actually be cool and legit to fucking do, like, you know.
Well,
like,
I mean, there's
where do you think the spot is?
I mean, it depends on what the. If you want culture, if you want like OG New York culture, you could go to. I think Sunset Park is there's a very diverse community down there. Hispanic folks, a lot of Asian folks down around that area, and there's a what is it? Fuck. What's a big ass? There's a Costco down there. Yeah. So
Nice.
You know, welcome to Costco. I love you.
Nice. I love you. I love that fucking movie.
I know, right?
We're turning into that movie. So like fucking.
That's my favorite.
We're in the
whole
prequel.
thing. He's just standing
Welcome
there,
to
just
Costco.
lifeless.
I love you.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. They had the fucking shuttle train going around the Costco because it was like 2 miles wide. But yeah, I would say Sunset Park's nice. You can probably get a decent price for apartment down there, but you know, it's kind of crap. That's getting gentrified. Let's see. I used to work in the Coney Island area, and you know, you're right by the beach. You know, so if you like the beach, that's a good spot. Brighton Beach is down there too. There's but they got like a big aquarium down there and stuff, and there's usually some good places. Like you could probably get a decent deal. Lucy, who makes their life decisions based on Costco? I'm just saying it's there, sweetie. I'm not judging.
It's there. There's also a Costco in Jackson Heights. I'm looking at it right here. So
Right.
you know, right
There's,
right near Corona. This is where Corona's at. So if everyone just like doesn't live here, we should be fine.
I think there's
Right?
one in Spanish Harlem too. There's like an Aldi's, and then there's like there's a Costco around there too.
Why is it Spanish Harlem? What makes it different from the other Harlem? Like, is there just like mariachi on every corner? Like,
Well,
you know,
this is just a guess because like I said, I'm not Mr. Manhattan, but I think on the more the east side, you have more of a Hispanic population, and then as you get closer to like the middle of Manhattan and on the
right? But
it's more
who
like,
at like
you know,
City Hall went? I know what to call it. That's where all those Latins are. Let's call it like Spanish Harlem. Like what?
Lucy said she grew up there. She grew up in Spanish.
Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah, I had
I'm a Brooklyn
lady
guy.
down the street from me.
Manhattan.
Spanish Harlem was her spot too.
I tell you, man, when you live in
So-
Brooklyn and you live in Manhattan, it's like both places. Unless you like work in one and live in the other, they could be just like foreign countries. Because like I said, my lady, she lives over on the Lower East Side, and then when she comes to Brooklyn, she has no clue because she does like 99% of her shit. Oh, she grew up in Jackson Heights.
Yeah.
Okay. And she like
Right.
99% of her shit that she does is in Manhattan. She doesn't ever mess with Brooklyn. So when she comes over here, I got to be
Like,
tour guide, and I'm not even from here.
The places I would think I would want to live are like Harlem, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, like places that to me feel like New York. Like Manhattan to me feels like fucking the shitty place. That's where the evil, you know, lies. Like, you know, so
I think back in the 70s, they were selling. I could be wrong. Lucy probably knows. She probably knows better than I do. But they were selling brownstones in Harlem for like $1 because nobody wanted the shit, right? So if you bought up property, if you had a time machine, go back in time to the 70s or whatever, go buy a bunch of shit in Harlem, and now you'd be a gazillionaire. You'd be shooting penis rockets up into space with William Shatner semen in it, you know?
We had two like black lesbian ladies come in across the street, like couple of owls, old wise lesbians as they're known. And she was like, she definitely let you know, I'm from New York. I grew up in Spanish Harlem. Like, that was like every other fucking sentence from her. She ended up like there was Diana, and Ethelda, right? Which I could never remember their names fully, so it was just Thelma and Louise in my head, and then I had to translate. Diana used to do like she was a seamstress. She would do costuming for Hollywood. That's what she had done. And Ethelda was a professional trainer. Worked with like Lily Tomlin and a few others. And like Diana had done the fucking funniest shit. She had done costuming for Barry White, and I just went, that was a lot of sequins, huh? Like fucking, she was like, oh my god, yes. Like fucking like she was fucking from Suriname. That's where she was from. And like fucking lovely lady. But they have an apartment in Amsterdam because she's got like dual citizenship. So, you know, and I'm just like, why are you not taking me? Like, I'll go right now. I'm sure like if I give them a call, they'll be like, yeah, just apartment 47, like hang out. Like, I'm like, bowl of condoms, where are those at? I'm gonna need those. Like, that's under the bed. Like, you know, like, thanks, appreciate it. You know, but like, fucking, I'm definitely, I want, like, that's to me the thing. Like, they talk about like, fucking collegiate liberals all the time would tell people, you just gotta fucking, it's like the touch grass. It was before touch grass. It was this, right? Like, you gotta travel, and it's like, motherfucker, I can't afford to. Like,
right.
You know, I can't do that. Like,
but it is true though. I mean, I lived down south for 30 years, and once I had been like on trips, like road trips to places, and I really enjoyed it. But once I actually moved, out of the south to a totally different place, like you go from South Mississippi, you know, to southern
to a city somewhere.
California.
Yeah, it's like,
you know, it's like,
it's way different. Yeah. I mean, that's my thing. Is like I lived in rural ass shit for so long that I'm like, I crave like society. You know, it's like I want that. I want to be able to walk down to the fucking comedy store, do a fucking show for 15 fucking minutes because they don't give a fuck, right? And then like go down to the fucking bodega where you got all your food groups. You got your red food group, your blue food group, right? And get you fucking couple of moon pies and a quarter water. Right? And, you know, fucking go back up, you know, find the fucking, you know, weed dealer on the corner and fucking chill out. Like, you know, the issue is like access to space and, you know, all that shit's limited. And like, what? I'm gonna fucking live in like Hackensack, right? And like commute in? Like, no. You know? Like, I just want to be there.
Lucy says, I crave woods. Lucy, just get on here. Come on. You'll spend less energy. She says she's tired, but she's typing, and I'm just saying...
you're typing. What she's telling you is that she hasn't put on her makeup and doesn't want to.
Well, you know,
she wants to be in her... She wants to be in her jammies and... Like fucking you don't have to turn on the camera. Steve didn't.
Don't turn on the. Just let us hear your lovely voice, dear.
We all knew Steve was getting ready to bed and he sleeps naked. So You know, like he couldn't fucking have the camera on. You know, so
He's probably
like,
wearing some like those '70s Garanimals like pajamas.
I wanna-
Like
I
a
wanna
tiger
get 'em-
top and
I want to get him like black turtleneck beret with like a big fucking thick jacket on top, and just be like fucking do you know what I want? Like just do that bit, and fucking make it a fucking thing. Just fucking existence is pain, cruelty. You know, just fucking I want that so hard. Where's the let's see if I can find that. The French cat noir thing.
Lucy,
Let's fucking
Lucy
find
had
that.
asked earlier, what do you eat on Christmas? Sure, go for the cute girl and don't ask the other chubby beardo. Come on, Steve. Hey, hang on, Steve. I'll get you on here. Fucker, I'll call you bluff.
Which Steve? Yeah. Oh, is this? Yeah, is
Steve
Lucky and
Cutler
them gonna
live.
get on here?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hang on. a
Cutler, you got your guitar? I need new strings. What like? I want to go with elixirs because that's what I remember being good, but like I think I put the elixir Phosphorons on recently, and they finally eaten the fucking bit in the dust. I looked at Ladadrio's got some coated and shit now for the acoustic, but you know. And I need to fucking find another electric. I've got the fucking amp, and I need another pedal and shit.
Trouble.
What's up, girl?
What's up, baby girl? What's up, lady?
Candy
Happy
shake.
Festivus to you.
Oh, so I actually think something's terribly wrong because, like, I have weird sounds. Oh wait.
You have earwigs?
Something's terribly wrong. Earwigs. She's the Invasion of the Body Snatchers. She's got a lobster on the back of her fucking neck, controlling what she hears.
Is your microphone?
Are you
okay there?
still listening? Are you still listening to the stream as well? That might be it.
Oh no, it's working.
Okay, very good.
Hey, if you can,
Like- I
Lucy,
like when
bump
things
up
work.
your audio just a little bit for me, if you can. If you can't, no worries. I'll see if I can adjust on this side. I said,
make
Yeah,
Steve.
you probably could.
Yeah, we can hear you. We'll just be a little quiet.
Yeah,
when we
you're
talk.
good. Yep. Can you turn her up? I think there is a internal mic volume, right? I think there's a way to do that.
Maybe.
Like Lucy, if you hit cam and mic in the bottom, right,
Oh.
and then audio, you can like crank your mic volume there. You're good.
Oh.
You're not. Although I do appreciate the self, chastising. Because I do the
What's up,
same
brother?
shit. You dumb motherfucker, you're so
What up?
dumb.
Am I looping? What's going on here?
No, you're
Well,
good.
since we had
Cool.
Lucy, the cute
Clean.
girl, on, we got to get Steve or the cute guy on. So that's how,
Yeah.
we roll.
Does that work?
So,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
you did make that better. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you
Yeah.
pretty good now. So,
right.
What's up,
Al?
Steve?
Happy Festivus,
We had one Steve
everybody.
leave, had another Steve come back in.
It's
So-
I'm
on,
a
you
cooler
keep-
Steve, obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
can't have
Usually
less
I've seen you as you know, the like Wilson, right? You're always behind camera, you know, like.
the
I told
disembodied
In-
voice from on the fence.
Yeah, Indy's also like we never see him, and I just want to like 1 year put him in like just get him a fucking fence that he has to hold in front of the camera, you know?
That would be the
But-
best thumbnail. Just the fence.
Yeah, just that. Yeah, but but yeah, fucking. But yeah, I was saying that I need new fucking guitar strings. I don't know
Yeah,
where to
dude,
get.
I like those elixirs myself too. The phosphor bronze.
Yeah.
rock.
Aw,
Yeah, they
what's up,
do.
Pupper?
Oh look,
Um,
this little Elmer Fudd hat.
What do you go? Do you go?
I love that hat.
I went lights, right? And I kind of want to go extra lights on there
Really?
because like why work hard at bending,
True.
you know?
Hey,
If
Lucky.
you do a lot
But-
of indie things, definitely, I would encourage.
Bubbo.
better.
Yeah, I never understood.
That's
I know
a
there's
great
like
outfit.
yeah, that's fucking great. Oh, I'm wearing the same shirt as the Puppo.
Oh, look at this.
Puppo shirt. I just need the hat.
He looks like
Camo-
What's his name?
Camo is great because
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, he does.
Fucking shit is full. The turkey from Christmas Vacation is fucking the best.
What's his name? He went crazy. He went to Canada and went crazy. Who was that?
Fuck. I remember. Who you were talking about, but
I'm so high and old.
Hang
on a second.
And old.
I know. Me too.
But
You can just carry him around on your shoulder?
yeah, he's like
Yeah.
a parrot.
Well, he goes on my shoulder.
He usually goes on his mom's shoulder, but he'll take anybody's shoulder. If you got a shoulder, he's down.
and my pit bull won't even let you pick her up. She just fucking goes all dead fish and flops around and.
Does she get her back feet all like?
Oh, she's just like it's just like full sprint once you pick up, like just like I'm like, girl, you're already 80 pounds. Just relax, like
Leo looks like a functioning Randy Quaid. That's who I was trying to.
Randy Quaid.
A functioning.
You have Seinfeld in the background? What is
A
that?
more
I'm so
apt
worried.
Randy Quaid. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
who?
what'd you say, Luce?
What's your background? Is that
The Festivus.
That's Festivus.
Yeah, that's the
that's
Festivus.
That's Frank Costanza.
Jerry's.
Jerry. And George is
Yeah.
right there.
Is Newman there? Did Newman go to Festivus?
No, Newman didn't make it.
No?
To Festivus.
Festivus. See, I thought you were at
Did
like.
you ever discover? Because there's like that guy that he was like starting student debt strikes tweet spaces or something.
George Costanza?
It
Yeah.
was George Costanza.
Yeah.
It wasn't George Costanza. It was like the
Yeah, that's-
brown guy. So I got super confused. Did anybody?
Right, but that's because George Costanza is not a person's name. It's a character. Like, what's the fucking Jason? Who's the actual actor
it
that
wasn't
plays
Jason
George?
Jason Alexander.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah. Yeah, which really, George Costanza is Larry David, played by, George Costanza.
George
So
is
that
getting
guy-
very angry.
Yeah.
Very
Like, the whole
confused
bit,
right now, Jerry.
Wait, I
the
don't
whole bit about, go ahead.
I don't understand.
You see bots?
I
Other
don't
bots
watch
present?
Seinfeld that much.
Yeah.
You should mod Lucky so she can kill your bots.
Jason Alexander, because Jason Alexander is a bald white guy.
Yes. Yeah, that's George Costanza.
So who's
George
the skinny
Costanza
brown
is-
guy who says he's George Costanza?
That I don't. That's some other guy. That's
Can't
the
stand you.
Yeah, I don't. No clue.
He said he was George Costanza. He was like, "That's me," and he was.
I think he was just fucking with you, but I
He was
would.
definitely fucking with you.
I mean, he's definitely heard that joke 1,000 times if his name is George Costanza. Like, oh, are you a marine biologist?
That
Like,
is fantastic.
like everyone,
Is there a
everyone
marine
is
biology?
just fucking
biology?
like, how are the Yankees doing this year, George? The funniest bit. So,
It's like the MMT guy whose name is Jeffrey Epstein.
oh yeah. Oh no. Well, there's the other Epstein guy, right? There's the like Epstein's brother or something like that. That's fucking like okay, like,
Yeah.
but the bit.
He's
The George Costanza bit where they fire him and he just comes back, or like he quits and then he like realizes that like he shouldn't have done that, so he just comes back to work like nothing happened. Larry David did that.
Yeah, you got to do that, baby.
Larry David actually did that. Like he was fucking tired of SNL, right? And he was like writing for SNL and he was like, "Fuck it, I quit. Fuck you. Like, fucking, you're cool. I'm out." Right? And then fucking he's like, "Shit." And he talks to the actor who plays Kramer. And the actor who plays Kramer tells him, "Well, you should just go back." Like, because that's exactly what Kramer would tell you to do. Like,
Of course.
is fucking just go back like nothing happened. They won't know. They won't remember. Yeah, but I cussed everyone out. Like, yeah, but who cares? Just don't even mention it. Don't even act like it happened. Like, just fucking go back and be like, "So, hi, how are we doing today?" Like, no one's gonna tell you. No one's gonna say shit. You're just gonna fucking go. And like, it worked. Like, Larry was like, "It fucking worked." I don't know. I quit a week later, but it fucking worked. Like,
Oh, he quit a week after that?
I think something like that. He didn't stay there for that long after that, but like, it was one of those things where it was like he was like, I need the fucking money, like I gotta go fucking back, you know, like. But and then he put it in Seinfeld, right? Then George does it, so you know.
He's working for Kruger. He's working for
Wow.
Yeah, Kruger's in the Festivus episode too. He's just like, this human fun. This doesn't exist, does it? No. But with this Festivus, oh yeah, that's real.
That's real.
I always liked what's his name who played Frank Costanza, Jerry Stiller. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Jerry Stiller
Stiller's
and,
funny. Fuck.
Yeah, Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira from back in the days, you know.
Yeah.
They were
Funny.
because like when you and I were growing up, there was like variety shows out the yin yang on TV. You know, it was like you had Flip Wilson, you had Richard Pryor, and then you had like all kinds of shit. You know, and these characters would just pop up on these shows. You know, you're just like and they were always in the mix too. Old school Hollywood, man. I bet. I wonder what it'd been like to live out in L.A. or even New York, like in the '70s. You know how crazy that would have been. That would have been fucking amazing. I ran everybody out.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in the '80s, but I know people that were here in the '70s, and I asked my aunt once, because my aunt was a disco queen in the '70s in New York. And I asked her once, I was like, what were the '70s like? And she just said that the '70s sucked.
Yeah.
I'm like, but you were a disco queen.
I imagine like if you were a musician in the '70s in one of those places, I mean, yeah, you probably broke as a joke, but I bet you were having a hell of a good time, you know?
Hell yeah, you're getting loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was plenty of places to crash then. Like, they weren't trying to fucking put spikes on top of fucking benches and shit.
Yeah.
Like, like you could just
that's
fucking find an underpass somewhere,
Hopefully that Christmas music wasn't too overpowering there through the concert.
No.
All right.
I don't think so.
It was so good we got DMCA'd, man. So, yeah, it was really good.
Why is there never a pick in the pick holder of this strap? Why is that?
That's
You know what the pandemic
insufficient
did?
holder.
It taught me how to play without a pick, and I always played with a pick forever.
Yeah.
For many,
Yeah, I usually
25 years. Now I'm figured out how to keep the pick in my hand and still use my fingers.
fingers. Yeah.
It's a whole new fucking thing. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, well, I've always done the whole like finger picking is almost what I started with, right?
That's
and then
awesome.
and then I learned. Then you do have to learn how to like the pick helps you be louder,
Yes.
right? And like
And a lot of what I do is about that, like just trying to accompany myself in a way that punches through and keeps a beat, and everybody can tap their foot to it, and you know what I mean. If an up tempo,
well, yeah, it's like
it's a thing. Like you need that pick for that.
who was it? Was it
percussion?
was it the guy in the Sly, the bass player?
Yeah,
That was
Bootsy.
like he didn't have is that Bootsy for Sly? No, that's
no.
P-Funk.
yeah.
Sly is not Larry Graham, but fuck, what is his name? But he's the one who like invented the slap, right? Because he didn't have like percussion and shit.
Yep. Yeah, pop.
And he was trying to mimic like a bass and snare. But like where the fuck is
I just want to go back to the time when people actually waited all night for a concert.
yeah.
You know,
Wait,
like
like,
now
I wanna
the
go back to the-
people wait for is the Mac store, which is just like
Oh.
No. Or tennis shoes. They wait all night for tennis shoes out at the shoe stores.
yeah.
That still happens.
When
Yeah.
Yeah.
It used
That's-
to it used to be Bob Dylan would just show up at a bar somewhere,
Yeah.
Like
Or the Stones.
that's-
The Stones would show up at Toads in New Haven or something, and fucking
right, or like
play there for
CBs,
3
like they
days in a
just be
row.
fucking they just show up at like you know, you'd have like.
dude. I raged outside that motherfucker. Couldn't get in, but it was fucking fun party on that street, boy.
CBGB's is now an upscale men's clothing store.
That's really sad.
Is it?
I got
I've
to
seen,
go to
like-
CBGB's though before they close.
It's very sad.
Nice.
That's the epitome of how bad New York is getting in that respect. Where it's like, Lucy, you're a lifer, right? You're born and raised, right?
Yeah, I'm a lifer. I've been in this fairly shitty city.
like you guys are on death row. Like, what are you in here for? Like, fucking life, man.
What are you in for?
You know?
So everybody meets each other on the subway. What are you in for?
Yeah, what are you in for? Dude, the fucking videos on subways recently have been, like, I found one that was just, like, saxophone player playing over the sounds of a New York fight. Like, I'm like, this is the soundscapes we need in our life. Like,
Yeah,
you know, like, fucking, like, it's the beginning of a Nas album, right? Like, you know, fucking Kenny G on the subway with fucking, be like, you motherfucker, you're gonna get fucked up on this A train tonight. Like, fucking, it's
My
the fucking
favorite
best.
memories I have of New York City is like coming out of Madison Square Garden, spun off my ass after seeing the Grateful Dead, and there's a dude about 70 years old blowing trumpet, playing the Flintstones theme song at like top
Nice.
volume, and another dude walks in from across the street with a trombone and joins him. You know, like,
Yeah,
oh
I would've-
my
I would've
God,
been that guy.
Escaped my mind for like 45 minutes. It was fucking.
I-
incredible.
There's like
That's-
the funny
that's what
thing,
I-
like brief is like when you sent me that, I just like tuned all that out. I was like, oh, that's a good tune.
Yeah, that's nice. That's pretty. I like this. Right? And then fucking, and then you realize in the background there's just fucking like, fucking shit's going down, you know?
Right,
Hey,
several
Steve,
people were
uh,
stabbed down the block from there as that was occurring.
Hey Steve, have you ever been to a buddy of mine out in LA? He's a big he's a Grateful Dead fan, but he also goes for Fish. Do you like Fish at all?
Oh yeah, I've seen Fish a bunch of times too.
Have you
I
ever
don't,
been?
and
I've
not on
also
the
seen
same-
Fish.
Not on the same level, but you know their songwriting is different. You know,
Right.
I think
yeah.
they've improved over the years a great deal. I like them more than I used to.
I always found
It's like-
that like Grateful Dead fans tend to like Fish, but I had a buddy that would come to New York for the Baker's Dozen. You ever heard of that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
he would
Absolutely.
come
My old drummer used to go every year.
Yeah, he got 13 nights of Fish, and he said they never repeated a song.
Yeah,
It's like-
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like coming out of the Dead show at MSG, they were the ones who started that shit, doing a week,
Right.
doing fucking 10 days, 2 weeks or whatever. And we would get so freaking spun in that city, dude. All these Connecticut country ass kids. We had such good times there, man. It was fun as hell.
See, I grew up near New Orleans, so like if I had grown up near New York in those days, oh boy, I would have gotten into so much trouble. I just know it. Because
Wait, New Orleans isn't trouble? I thought like
It
was
can-
the party
it
city
ca-
of the.
It can
is
be.
like a
Well,
microcosm of like bigger cities like New York and LA. It's like you have a smaller population, but there are.
it's more European almost in
Yeah,
a
you
weird
go
way,
there,
right?
you feel like you're in a foreign country because like
Yeah.
the architecture and like, but there's music everywhere and the
yeah,
food
like
is like
Dutch Town, the Garden. Did you ever go to that? So up there in the Garden, right? There's the famous po' boy shop up near there, right? That's been like established since fucking before Christ. There's like they took like one of these like complexes that were there, and it used to be like everyone got a little, like every like apartment building there in the district like had a little fucking backyard. Well, they took out all the fences, right? And then the hippies realized that it's a fucking great spot to fucking have like a little hippie commune there, right? So now there's this like block of like fucking hippiedom in there in the Garden, and then when you
Bohemia.
walk into the back, it's like people fucking blowing glass and like jugglers and fucking like you're like, what did I fucking walk into here?
Like Grateful Dead
people
lot,
fucking chainsaw carving and shit. It's like, bro, this is the fucking and you could just feel and then the wall hits you of just fucking like fresh cut grass and you know, just the stank of weed, like the Holy Spirit embodying the whole area. Like, you're like, this seems like a nice place.
That's what the parking lot scene was in the Grateful Dead, like for years.
Yeah.
And that's why it exploded in the 80s, the late 80s. It just kind of like ate itself. But for a minute there, it was friggin' magical, dude. Like wherever you set up that friggin' wherever that spot happened to be, it was just like bring. It was full of energy, lots of people like really happy and good times.
But now you go to freaking for a show and you got fucking the cops with the goddamn long guns and they have fucking segways in the parking lot.
Literally.
And the fucking nitrous mafia is there. Like, you guys can't fucking be selling balloons. What the fuck? Because we're the fucking balloon sellers and we're like, no, fuck you. This is our fucking, we're heads, man. This is the Dead is fucking playing in there. Are you kidding me? Oh man, it was funny.
Yeah, there's too much control now. It's like very authoritarian in cities. Like maybe if you go out to Mississippi or something, it's fine. But like, you know, if you just go to Central Park outdoor concert or something, they like tape down the floor and then there's like security coming around and like, oh, you sat here and you're supposed to squish like move behind the line and then you have to like relocate yourself because you sat in the wrong place. It's just,
it's fucking dumb.
Stupid.
You know what's great?
There's too many rules. There's too many rules.
There was a few years back. They stopped doing it now. That you know they built that amphitheater down at Coney Island, right? But before then, they would have free shows every summer in that big ass parking lot over there by the train station. And right by the boardwalk there. And when I got here in 2009, and we would go we saw Pat Benatar over there for free. We saw Cheap Trick, Squeeze, like all these bands would come in. It was like for free, right? If you wanted to sit down, and you paid like $5 or something like that. But we were always in standing room only in the back, and it was just like, it was the greatest thing, you know? It was like, this is great, you know, you see a free concert. We saw Hall & Oates over in the amphitheater. Not too far away from there.
Hall & Oates.
And
Garfunkel and Oates did a thing.
we have the casinos, and they have like what's called the Wolf Den, and they let us they do all kinds of free shows like all the time. They're like
like a couple free shows a week of national acts and stuff come through there. Like lots of people.
I got to meet I saw Badfinger there, and what was that guy? Davey Knowles, I think. It's Davey Knowles. Yeah, I met him. I have pictures with him. He was pretty cool. You know.
We used down on the Gulf Coast. When I was working down there, I was working at a TV station down there, and it was great. We had casinos down there too, and then we get like all kinds of. I think they had. What's fucked up is like they opened a Hard Rock casino, and the day it opened, that's when Katrina hit. It was like so fucked up. But
Indy's here. FYI.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. Let me let him in here. Indy!
Hey! Okay, the grievances will now be ended.
We got the show here. Let's go!
Not that guy.
He's been waiting all fucking day.
We've been waiting all year.
Is this friggin' Christmas yet or what?
I need to get all these YouTube trolls.
Do you have to put a bunch of shit together because you got kids?
Oh, I believe me, the list is long and distinguished. Starting with the fact that the kids will not go to sleep. Right now, they're screaming.
My daughter turned 18 yesterday, so I'm like super grateful about that in some ways, but other ways I'm like,
happy
oh my
birthday.
God, they grow too fast.
Telling you,
I mean,
awesome.
you can just stunt their growth. Like you can put them in a box and they won't grow further than that.
They won't get bigger.
You know? Yeah, you just leave them in that.
They frown upon that. They frown upon that, and they frown upon duct taping your kids to the ceiling. I don't know.
When I babysat my sister's kids, Like her and her husband would they'd go out on a date or something, and I would just give them a bunch of sugar, let them run around for a couple hours till they passed out, and then my sister would get home, like, how did you get those kids to sleep? I said, the magic, I got the touch, you know, and then she'd see the bag of sugar, and she'd go, ah, ha, ha! I know your tricks. Yeah, those kids probably have diabetes now. That's totally my fault. You know, I'm sorry about that. I'm the shittiest uncle ever.
Or the best uncle ever. I don't know.
Right? Well, yeah. At the time, I was. It was like, look, you got diabetes. You're rotting your teeth out. Who did that? Uncle. That asshole. Oh. How are you doing, Indy? Happy Festivus to you.
Oh, it is a very happy Festivus. We're good. It's been a busy year and a busy week, and we're working on getting some new INN members on board. It's a secret so far, so we don't want to let that out of the bag yet, though there are a couple people know what's going on there, and just so much happening, and it's going to be a big year, and aligning with some other folks and planning some big streams and how we're going to write and organize and take on all this bullshit that's going on out there.
This is my Festivus.
There's a lot of it.
I was showing you my poll.
It is. It's a shiny poll.
Double entendre. Ba-da-ba.
Someone said Hall & Oates, so I was just Sarah smiling over there.
Doing Hall & Oates.
Hall & Oates. I loved Hall & Oates growing up. Like Big Bang Boom. Big Bang Boom was like the album, like when I was growing up, and
METHODOLOFLOVE. I know, right? I love.
Dude, there were like three versions. There were three versions of that video. It was so big. Like they re-released it 3 different times. They just stretched that bastard out for like a year.
I was telling them I saw Hall & Oates for free at this amphitheater in down near Coney Island, and but now you can't go see free shows down there anymore because they built a giant, expensive ass gentrified amphitheater down there that you got to pay like big bucks to see. Although I was working down there and I did get a free ticket to see Night Ranger and Rick Springfield. Yeah. So weird when you go to like those OG shows like that, because like, and this wasn't too long ago. It was probably like maybe about 5 years ago. And you know life is catching up with you when you go to a concert and you see everybody around you, like you see a lot of gray beards, you know, maybe a little bit on the plump side.
You see a few chunky boys.
A few chunky boys there, and you know, but you look around and you go, yeah, these are my peeps. These are what
man.
We were all sporting that 80s gear back then and 70s gear, bell bottoms and shit. You know?
Yeah, members only jackets and what?
Oh, a funny story. So I worked at this TV station in North Mississippi, and the main anchor was like this old salt dude, but he's a great guy, but just salty as hell, right? And he had a members only jacket. We're talking about like mid-90s. So we're like, oh, we found the last member. There he is.
Who was the last member? It was literally the joke out of Shallow Hal.
Just go get a trombone.
It is. It was.
What?
He was
No.
the last member.
No, that's not a bone.
Hey, Lucy,
No.
I said Lucy's so quiet.
No. I'm like the only motherfucker that's got one.
Oh yeah, I'm still here. I'm kind of lying in bed.
Oh, that's cool. Hi. Happy Festivus.
Happy Festivus.
Her
If I
and
take
Nolan were
this-
kicking it earlier. She said I guess you had a stream together. Is that right?
Yeah, and Noli knows like everything about, and her streams are like, well, there's always there, you know, it's like the opposite of yours. They're very, very serious. She like knows all of this legal shit about all of these police cases.
Yeah, it's like
smoking trombone.
she knows her she knows her
That's
shit,
fucking sweet,
but it's
dude.
like when she's serious, she's serious,
God,
but like, but when she's silly and like
The busy.
had a few, La Mama had a couple of you know, old fashions. She's fun.
Absolutely, just my my dab rig. It's Reef stab rig. It makes beautiful music.
Fucking right. It's actually I gotta get it fucking cleaned out because I can definitely fucking there's some mold in there somewhere, which is just you don't even want to fucking say the word moldy trombone because
No.
you know.
Don't say that in that order.
What?
Where is Nolan? I thought Nolan was.
Every one of us has watched entirely too much cartoons. We all just
what?
I feel like you have like a whole band in your.
He does.
Yeah, I do. Wait.
Going to Reef's house to jam. Fuck it.
Reef plays like every instrument.
Yeah, I do. I mean, not any of them well, but.
I need to get one of those jugs that has the 3 X's on there, and then you hold it like this. Go.
Oh, I can play that too.
Yeah, the jug.
Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. Come on, man. That's an ACO like mainstay.
Yeah.
That's right.
Love me some
Orange
Emmett
Jug
Otter,
Band
man. That's the best. Man, we're old farts, man. What happened to like all the Christmas and like Hanukkah shit that we grew up with? You know, although there wasn't that much Hanukkah stuff when I was growing up. Did you have a favorite indie? Was there any Hanukkah specials?
Oh, the only one that there ever really should be is the Hebrew Hammer. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was a comedy special movie with Adam Goldberg. It was one of the funniest things ever. Oh my god.
The Hebrew Hammer.
Squeeze box.
That's awesome,
Lawrence,
Lucky.
welcome to the show. What the hell? Where are the bubbles?
Look at
The
that.
I want
the funniest shit was yesterday. The funniest shit was yesterday when fucking I pull up a mouse that looks very much like a Georgia O'Keeffe flower, right? And fucking Lucky pulls out a pipe that is also very reminiscent of Georgia O'Keeffe.
A flower.
Right. And then proceeded to feel the need to explain to us where we have to put our mouths.
Oh,
That's what I found the most important. She's like, I know y'all motherfuckers don't know.
Instructions
Like-
are helpful.
Yeah.
That disturbed my delicate
Not everyone has a good
sensitivities.
instinct, you know.
I'm gonna say that right now. That was I did not know that was an R-rated show we were on. So, you know, a little warning next time.
Yeah. You're fine.
Next
you watch
time
cable.
you want to show your squeeze box
You
on
watch
TV,
cable.
honey, you let me.
Yeah. Well, it's
Tell me
like
first.
Here you go, Warren. I just sent
We've
you the
got-
link on Discord. Oh goodness.
No,
Oh,
that's
here we go
amazing.
again.
a
Who's ringing the
Tibetan
bell?
singing bowl, but I found out
Wow.
that this
Oh,
metal
that,
mixing
Lucky.
bowl, right?
Read.
Oh, nice. I fucking do. Those are what? What are those? Tulips?
Yeah,
Jesus.
I don't know. What do you think that is?
I only see.
I mean,
think
I don't
the
know.
original sounds better.
Oh, jeez, Edith, why you always gotta show me the vagina flowers on the side, jeez? Where's
There we go.
jeez, the
Oh, yeah,
vaginas, yeah, baby,
vagina balls.
The J.J. Abrams.
You got a steel gun too?
See,
Do what?
So the Hebrew Hammer
Yeah.
is literally like a play on the movie Shaft.
Yes.
Okay, and it's hilarious. I don't know if
That's a
you've ever
great
seen it. It's
fucking
really
movie.
cheesy. It's really bad.
It's, yeah, it's one of those so bad it's good type movies, you know. It's like over the top good.
Roger Ebert gave it two oys way up.
Way
Yeah,
up.
here Andy Dick, Mario Van Peebles, Nora Dunn. She's in it, right? Tony Cox, yeah, as Jamal. He plays one of the elves.
Hello.
Oh yeah, this is classic.
I see one of the hobbits has appeared before us to take us to the Misty Mountain.
Hello.
That guy was in Smog, huh?
Yeah, he's got the fucking dope dwarf beard going on.
Fully.
You know,
I like it.
I do that song is my jam though. The fucking Misty Mountain shit. It's like that and the Halo theme song. You can just any spacious room. You just like you've got to do it. You know.
That's got to be a shit place to
But-
live if you forget what the elven word for friend is, and you can't get in. You're like, dude, I forgot. Come on.
Where'd
Did
Alvin
you change
go?
the password? How you doing, Alvin? What are you smoking?
I think he was having trouble with the sound.
He was smoking some peace out. That's what he was doing. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta apologize to all y'all because this is the first time I'm using StreamYard, like hosting the thing. So there's probably a lot of shit that's off. So I apologize for that. But it's still a work in progress. Yeah, I mean, you guys sound pretty good. I don't know. I gotta figure out the screen thing. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to like tech stuff. I don't want I don't like fucked up shit. I know nobody else does
Steve,
either, but I mean,
have you heard of the Skatoon Network? Have you made it to that part of YouTube yet?
Skatoon Network? No.
Yeah, do a quick Google of that. I don't know if I can play it here. I would. I can't imagine the guy at the Skatoon Network would care if I played his like cover of his ska cover. But
sick.
They're pretty dope. So he just does ska covers of stuff.
Yeah. All right.
I'm trying to think of all the other music things I've seen recently as far as that. I'm watching a bunch of Kenny Beats and stuff too. But
hell yeah, these guys are cool.
Yeah.
I saw Chris Stapleton.
Nice.
In the summer. That was the last time I went to a concert. And before that, I hadn't gone to one in a very, very long time.
Yep.
You said Chris Stapleton?
Yeah, that was a good concert.
I think the last concert I went to was Cage the Elephant.
He does like
Cage the Elephant's awesome too. I like
country, but it's not
fucking
like
killed that show.
He's really good. It's not like he does kind of blues. And
he's got amazing voice. Amazing voice.
He's
a real voice guy. Yeah.
Fucking killer voice. Soulful as
he
shit.
He really has a great voice. He's really, he's really very talented.
Yep.
Isn't he the one who did the Baby Shut the Door and Turn the Lights Down Low? Who's that fucking? Who's that guy?
Sounds like my landlord when he's collecting the rent.
I'm not good with all the newer country dudes, but like
it's
Stapleton because I've heard him play with other people and stuff too, and was like, that cat's got a voice like fucking mile wide.
But
I go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I was Go ahead.
Go ahead, McMurray.
You first. You first,
Go
Doctor.
ahead, McMurray.
Doctor. Fucking. Well, to be fair.
To be fair.
But to be fair. Me and you are the only people who've watched that show at all, right? Like
I just fucking totally chimed with you guys, and you need to read
it. Steve, have you seen that show Letterkenny out of Canada?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched them all for sure.
That's why I appreciate you.
We got another one, Reef. We got another one.
I fucking love it.
That's so.
I fucking love it. Me and Warren want to do this thing, or I want to do this thing. I'm dragging Warren in along, but whoever else wants to show up, I want to we'll pick a fucking show that like is easily available for people to find online, right? We'll watch it. We'll record us watching it, but we won't have we'll just have like a timer and tell you when to press play. And then you join us for our fucking mystery science theater bullshit. And but we wanna watch the new season of The Expanse, because me and him are both caught up on that, and I still gotta watch like the last 2 seasons of Letterkenny to catch up. So I would do that.
I don't know. I don't know if actually I'm caught up. If there's more seasons since maybe 2 years ago, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I think the last season was they put out season 9 last Christmas, last year, and then this year they're gonna put out season 10 on Christmas.
I think I might be one season behind them.
The Letterkenny guy, it's fucking crazy. He did a fucking movie where he played a cop in a school shooting movie, and it was like it was like the most hyper real school shooting movie I've ever fucking. And it's so weird to see fucking what's his name on the show, the
main guy, Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne, right? It's like Wayne playing a serious role where it's like, and I just want to be like, so I went to the school the other day, like fucking, yeah, like I fucking love that shit.
With the boys the other day.
With the boys the other day, went down to the barn the other day, slapped a few pucks. Like I fucking love that show. That show's great. I have friends that are like literally near like Letterkenny over there, and it's fucking all, it's all like fucking. Oh, what the fuck's the matter, bud? Like, you know,
what's your worry, bud? It's like if Seinfeld met the Trailer Park Boys, right? It's like you get that Canadian Trailer Park Boys.
Weird amalgamation going on there.
Right.
It's fucking great.
But it's like, because they're just
a different area of Canada and goofiness, but like same kind of.
Yep. I fucking love the bit where he's just holding his fucking dog. He just like holds his fucking dog.
Just holding a dog.
Or he's got the bumpers.
2 seasons into Trailer Park Boys going, how did I watch all these episodes? Just watch.
Right? There's like 200 episodes we've all
It's the Canadian magic,
and then there's the Rush stream. There's the Rush one where they go to meet Rush, and they just became
where he kidnaps. He like kidnaps fucking the bass player or the fucking the guitar player.
He kidnaps Getty or Alex.
Yeah.
Hey, Indy, do you remember when Geddy Lee was he was on the Bob and Doug McKenzie album, and they were interviewing him, and he said something like $10 is $10, eh?
They were talking about artistic integrity or something.
Yeah. $10 is $10.
I fucking love that shit.
Oh man,
I like Rush is one of those bands to me that's like you have to appreciate, but I wouldn't necessarily choose to listen to them. You know, like
no, they are top of my list.
Moments in time.
Yes.
Where, like,
yeah, well, you have to
really want to hear "Working Man" right now. God damn it!
It's like they're an experience for sure. It's like
it's
you know,
you
it's like the Who to me is very similar in that
if you
like
a lot of theirs, like they had a lot of '70s stuff, but then they started getting into the '80s stuff too.
The '80s
synthesizer music.
I thought they were
with the old school,
the live cuts of like Limelight and
so good.
2112.
Tom Sawyer, all those different ones. That was like that one live EP or whatever. I think it was Exit Stage Left. It's called.
Yeah, Exit Stage Left, and then they
Rush of all time.
It was like
they were just on fire, good, just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like every 4 years they would do 4 studio albums, and then they put out a live album to cover the 4 studios.
Yeah.
So you had All the World's a Stage, which covered the first ones, and then you had Exit Stage Left, which covered the Hemispheres, moving pictures, stuff, and then you had A Show of Hands, which was more the synthesizer band stuff, Signals, Permanent Waves with the second one, Grace Under Pressure, and Hold Your Fire. That it was the tour for Hold Your Fire actually was what A Show of Hands was from. There was some there's a version of Closer to the Heart at the end of that. That's so good. It's the best version they've ever played, and it's definitely my favorite. It's so good, man. Like, I distinctly remember listening to that song in the car. I was driving home from the hospital after my kids were born, singing that at the screaming at the top of my lungs, like crying. It was amazing. Yeah. It was so good. Like those guys are just awesome. So good. 40 years of just amazing music.
Like Presto, I mean, once you got into the 90s, they were still putting out some good stuff too. You know, Presto was a pretty good one.
Roll the Bones was my first concert that I saw of theirs, and I then saw them like 17 or 18 times since. But yeah, and then Counterparts, and then you had the Time Machine stuff, but in between you had Vapor Trails, and they had that big hiatus after Neil's wife and kid had passed away, and we didn't think he was going to come back, and then they came back, and then they did that R40 tour that was so good, where they just literally played 2112 beginning to end, and I saw that at the Garden, and it was like a 3-hour show. I got a seat at a luxury box. Somebody hooked me up. My kids were on the way to being born, and they were like, "We got an extra seat for you," and it was just perfect final experience for them, and yeah. They are part of the soundtrack of my life for sure.
Yeah, mine too. Cause I saw them. I saw the Presto tour in New Orleans. and they had Mr. Big opening for them. And then, but I saw them in Nashville. I think it was the Counterparts. I think for that tour at
Vinnie Moore was the opening act.
It was no, there was no opening act then. So it may not have been Counterparts. It may have been another tour. It was just straight them in Nashville. But I tell you, it was the loudest concert I'd ever heard. It was probably the second loudest concert I'd ever heard, period. But it was the loudest concert I'd ever heard in an amphitheater. Right? In an amphitheater, it's not supposed to like trap in that sound, but it was just like so fucking loud. But it was so good too. You know, it was.
Neil's drum solos just blew me away. I mean, I could just sit and watch that guy. He's just that was just next level stuff. I mean, and the hours I spent listening to his solos.
When they lowered him into that that pit
into the
of
set.
drums, Jesus
and then
Christ!
He stands up and the whole thing rotates halfway through his solo, and he goes from like the synthesized drums and like the digital drums to the old school.
You guys
set.
try playing upside down, fuckers.
Dude.
Like that's what I want to see. I want to see like fucking Geddy Lee out there like on a bass, and then they just start turning his fucking platform like. You know, that's what
like
I want.
Fast, like a merry-go-round.
Yeah, like we're gonna start throwing knives at him, like you know.
And then like the chimes, he made a whole thing out of those digital chimes, and like just he made songs out of percussion that I've never heard anybody else in rock do since. Really?
No, he had totally musical drum set as well, and just awesome sense of melody and time.
Roland,
fucking incredible.
Roland almost made half their
lyrics,
shit just for fucking Neil. So
ridiculously good lyrics too.
Yeah, he's a Rhodes Scholar. I mean,
yeah.
Well, it reminds me of like Skynyrd lyrics almost, where it's like, you know, fucking Led Zeppelin shit, where we're talking about fucking fantasy bullshit at a level that like they fucking read the Lord of the Rings Bible or whatever, like before they fucking did those songs, you know.
Speaking of Zeppelin, actually about 3 years ago, before pandemic, I went and saw in Manhattan Led Zeppelin 2, which is like a touring cover band. That is the loudest concert I've ever seen, and I've seen a ton. I've seen Aerosmith, and you pretty much name it. I've seen them.
You got to see the fucking Who. You fuck.
I did get to see the Who. I
saw the Who.
Well, I got to see the Who at halftime of the Super Bowl when the Saints won. That's when I got to see the Who.
Sick.
You were at the game. You went to the Super Bowl.
I went to the Super Bowl.
Nice.
I was
there was like
and
there was like half of that stadium. It must have been 3/4 of those people were from Louisiana, Mississippi. Parts of like South Alabama.
Oh, I remember watching it and being like, "Fuck yes!"
It was practically a home game.
Yeah, it was great. And that onside kick at halftime, Jesus fucking Christ! I was like, they're gonna win. They're gonna win. I knew
something sad. During the interception, the Tracy Porter interception that basically sealed the game, I was in the bathroom. It was 6 minutes left in the game. They were basically going to win it, and I'm like, let me go to the bathroom before this is all over. And sure enough, I'm standing there, and I'm listening to it on the radio. I was like, hey, he ran right at where I was standing in the end zone.
Oh, shit. Yeah, well, they were driving. The Colts were driving to tie it up. But, yeah, Steve, lifelong Saints fan, and always the Heartbreak Kids, and when they finally won it, it's like, okay, I can die a happy man. Everything's fine. I don't even care if they go to another one. If they do, that's great, but I don't give a fuck. I saw that one, I'm like, I don't want to be greedy. You know?
That's literally what Tom Benson really felt like. He could die a happy man now. Like, he delivered.
And Drew Brees is a god in New Orleans. He always will be, you know?
Well, he was until he's taken a few missteps the last couple of years. Not so much anymore.
Oh, they all hate him now. There was like I saw a fucking giant thing. Like someone took his fucking Funko Pops and like burned them in fucking New Orleans. Like, you know, they fucking hate him over there now. He said some like.
Oh yeah, he said some really nasty stuff. I know, and it's sad to hear because I was a huge Drew Brees fan. I love the way that he played, but
I just wish he could figure out how to throw outside the Superdome. That's just what I wanted him to figure out. So.
Well, at 40 years old with a shot arm, you're not really throwing very much of anywhere outside a controlled environment. And I remember when we were growing up. Remember Giant Stadium? What they used to do with the kickers? What Parcells used to do? He used to open up the wind tunnels, all right, and push the wind against the kicker so that it was even harder to kick the field goal. And then they'd open up the tunnels when the Giants to keep the wind at their kickers back. That was a trick they played for years. Hilarious stuff.
Yeah, the Saints were they played the Jets this year. I was like, I'd like to go, but then I was like, I looked at the tickets price. Going to a game now, it's like kind of like going to a concert now. It's just like you got to take out a second mortgage or something, you know?
Yeah, it's like $100 a ticket. Plus you got to pay $30 to park, and now there's not even tailgating in the parking lot at the Jets games. You got to park like far away and take the train, or I don't know what the deal is. I haven't been in years, but
I'll tell you the fuckery with the ticket prices for like for music concerts anyway. That all started with the Eagles when they had that fucking reunion tour that Hell Freezes Over, and they were charging like, and people were like at the time like $100 a ticket. What the shit? And now it's
losing
like
their mind.
Yeah, and now $100.
I think we paid $250 a seat to see them at their last tour right before Glenn Frey died.
It's really funny that I think back to being a kid and going to see Dylan and the Grateful Dead when they toured for a summer. It was '87. It was the 4th of July, 1987, and in Foxborough, Mass. And the tickets were like $23 and a service charge. So it was like $26, and we were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Freaking out, like, how much? It was so
for
much
a service
money
charge
because they were like tickets were like $8 up to that point or something. And then they just jumped to like $25 from like $8, you know, like we were on tour, like going, you know, buying whole bunches of tickets. And then, what do you mean it's $26? All the other tickets are $8 or $12, you know what I mean, at the most expensive.
Thanks to Ticketmaster, man.
They
just destroyed the entire market.
They did.
Yep. Ticket bastard.
Fucking awful.
You know?
The old
Pearl
days
Jam
scalping in general is terrible
decades
now.
fighting those bastards.
Yeah.
Well, the old days
like,
too, you used to go to the
just
box
because of
office
that.
to get the tickets too. You know, you
Yep.
know, that was like a ritual. You were right. You get
Will
a few
call.
of you. You either get one
It was the
person to
camp
buy
out.
them all, or you made a trip of it. Like
you had to camp out.
lived.
Yeah, we used to camp out all the time, all
Camp
different
out.
places, you know, we'd drive up to fucking Western Mass or Vermont, whatever line, and camp out and get tickets. And, you know, that's why it was like so shocking. Like, this is $26 for each one. Like, oh my God, I thought I had enough money for 3 tickets. You know what I mean? Like,
You can't even buy a shirt for $26 now.
you can't get a fucking parking spot.
Especially not for me.
$26.
Oh, you know
How much
what?
fabric has went up?
I bought tickets to the Outlaw Festival, which
Well, that's
was
true.
like right before this whole shit happened. It was on Father's Day, and I paid $11.
It was $20, right?
$11 a ticket.
That was Kid Rock, right? Kid Rock and a bunch of other dudes.
No, it was Willie Nelson and
Oh, okay, nice.
Freaking
His kids.
yeah, it was all of the freaking. It was oh my God, who else was it? It was
I just
Phil,
wanna-
Rick,
I just wanna
Phil,
hold-
Phil Lesh.
Phil
Just wanna
Lesh
hold
from the
trigger
Dead, his
one
son,
time.
and it was like
Wow.
We had
cool Father's Day thing.
Allison, what's
Allison
her name?
Krauss.
Oh my God, it was
a
like an
dope
11-hour fucking show. Like it was all day, and we camped out in the fucking rain and watched
It was
the
like
show.
the most cost-effective $11. Like there was 11 acts or something, so each thing cost $1. It was like, it was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, so I
remember
took
the,
like Steve and like 2 of our friends and my daughter Skyla, and it was pretty awesome because it was like one of the last shows that Willie Nelson ever did. And I'm like, wow, she gets to go see Willie Nelson before, you know what I mean? He's not young. So that was really cool.
I got to see James Brown at the second Bonnaroo before he died. It was like James Brown, Neil Young, before he became, you know, well, he was still okay. Who else was there? But I think like Blues Traveler
Dylan?
was there. Something.
I think
Soul
Dylan was
Asylum.
there.
Blues
Was
Traveler.
that one as well? Wasn't it like three really huge ones? Like Bob Dylan, Neil Young, James Brown, somebody else like that was equally.
Oh, the
I would
Allman
fucking
Brothers were
love.
there
I
too.
would have loved that shit.
Yeah.
Allman Brothers
Well,
were
this
there.
show was
but
only
I just want to go see James. Fuck everyone.
show was,
James
like,
is the
2
one
years
I'd be
ago,
fucking
too.
there for.
Like,
it was so
don't care
sad, dude.
$11
James.
tickets
This
2
was
years
like
ago.
not long before he died, and James would come out for a little bit, and then he'd go backstage for a while, and the band would play, and then he'd come out for a little bit, and then he'd go back. It was just
the worst one I saw of one of those is fucking Little Richard did a fucking concert like late in life and shit, and it was the fucking worst. Like,
I think those guys are just like hardcore. Like I think James Brown had a stroke before those shows, before that monitor, so it was like a big deal that he was coming back and stuff. I remember that.
Well, like Brian Johnson from AC/DC, you know, I heard I was listening to him on YouTube trying to sing Back in Black, and it was just like, oh, dude.
That's why they got Axel.
But this was like I think he got the tinnitus or tinnitus, whatever the fuck you call it. And
I've got that.
And then he went, but apparently he got it fixed, and now he's back, I think.
Oh wow!
Touring, but I guess.
Huh.
Well, I mean, we've all done stupid shit with our ear holes as musicians.
Oh my god, I've been standing in front of drum sets way too close to them for too fucking long.
I've been standing behind them. The decibels are doubled for me. Like, we were dumb enough to have a drum line in a very small room. Like, you know, like that's not. Like, my ears are all fucked up.
All my high end is toast from standing next to the rides and the crashes, like, you know what I mean? And bash and
just that's the thing too, right? Like,
well,
it's like if you're outside, I mean, I'm just fucking like wailing on shit, breaking fucking sticks left and right, like, you know, just to get any sound out. But then you play in a tiny little room, and I've got to switch to brushes or fucking the little bamboo wrapped fucking sticks. So I'm not overbearing on anything. So much of being a drummer is like being able to understand how sound is going to carry and how much are your drums going to echo. Like, do I need to fucking
dynamics are everything in drumming,
right?
For sure.
Am I going to have to take people's t-shirts and fucking shit? Yeah, like
is invaluable.
Well, it's like I always switch to like that's fucking stick bag, and I need to replenish a bunch of shit in there. But when I was in high school, you know, I've got everywhere from 7A up to like thick ass fucking metal sticks, and you start realizing like, oh yeah, Vic Firth, $20 a pair times fucking, you know, how many, like, you're talking about this stick bag is then fucking, like, if you take it, I'm fucking gonna murder you to get it back. You know,
I've seen that happen too. People get gear ganked, like loading out or whatever, and some kids run by and steal the fucking drum bag. Like, I've seen it happen. You know, catch it too late.
Fuck you. Like a bag of cymbals. You fucking take a bag. Like, fuck you. I'm gonna fucking tackle your ass. Like,
chase kids.
Yeah. And then that same shit that they're gonna take it to the pawn shop, you could fucking sell it on eBay for fucking 3 times the price the pawn shop's gonna fucking sell it to you for, and they're selling it on eBay.
The pawn shop's gonna sell it on eBay. Is what's gonna happen.
Right. Yeah. Like I made the dumb mistake of like needing fucking money and having to get rid of like PV Millennial 5-string. Fucking, you know, I was super happy with that bass. Bass amp had to fucking go. Like, you know, fucking, I had a, what the fuck's with the Florida Lee lock and shit? Which one is that? The fucking, you know, and I'm not a fan of them, but, like, my buddy was like, I'll give it to you. It was a fucking, like, basic, like mahogany grain fucking, the fuck is that brand? It's with an I, right?
Ibanez?
Yeah, Ibanez. That's what it was. Right? And I'm still waiting for, I don't know if it was Line 6 or somebody made a fucking pedal that I need to fucking buy another one. It was one of my favorite pedals ever. It was one of the digital effect pedals, right? That they'd put out, and they had one for bass, and they had one for fucking guitar. It had like a little loop station on it.
Yeah.
Right? And like fucking, and then just every fucking effect you ever wanted. Like,
that's why I'm kind of limited right now with different tones. Like, I could be, you know, having 90 different tones because I
probably need to
have
go
an effects pedal that will change the sound, but it's like,
well, you probably need a DAC somewhere. You know, like you need a Scarlett 2i2 or fucking something to be able to plug in.
That's the
throw it through amplitude.
That's the weakest part of the thing is because I got a little lexicon one. And it works.
A little digital mixer or something wouldn't be a bad idea either. Like, I mean, that's my thing is like, you know, I've got
pedal.
How much does it cost you to fucking do digital music anymore? Like, Ableton cost you how much? Like, Your
I got
DAW
Ableton
was
when
fucking.
we got Ableton Lite for when we bought the controller, and my buddy
Yeah.
has like lots of patches and stuff that I can steal from him. So
That's
like
what I've got.
That's
I've got the little fucking fucking. What do I gotta move so you can see shit? One of these ways. Here. How about I do that? There we go. I've got the little fucking Akai Mini Pro down there.
Sweet.
Right, and I've got Ableton. My issue is that I have to like switch Windows' fucking audio codecs to like fucking so that like when I play, it's like there's a massive delay in Windows, so that like
latency, like a
you'll hit
motherfucker.
fucking pads, and it's like it's not like I know I'm in tempo. Like I could be my own click track if you needed me to, like,
right,
you know, and it's like I know it's fucking, and then it'll be off or whatever, and it's like it's very frustrating. And I know someone like who's used to that shit is like, yeah, here's what you do. Like the thing I don't know how to do is that side of the music part, right? How to fucking record it on, you know, like. Also, I never learned piano, which is the one thing I wish I fucking had.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's so easy to just input shit with a keyboard. Like,
I think even if you just have a keyboard and you
Yeah.
fuck with it, you'll figure it out. Like figuring out that latency, how to make it more responsive to you. And
I need to get. I mean, the shit that I want.
Do definitely.
The shit that I want to do the stuff that I need. You know, like I've played with like some high level shit, and I can hold my own with pretty high musicians with these things. Like, you know, everything else I'm mediocre at. Like I want to get way better at guitar and bass and whatever. I'm more decent at bass than I am at guitar. I just don't have one right now. And if Flea wants to send me an acoustic and a fucking 5-string, I'll take it.
Right.
You know, because I feel like 6-string, you're just getting a big guitar, and Thundercat's already be fucking up his goddamn fucking fingers doing that fucking 6.
Thundercat
like,
doing some
I'm
crazy
good.
weird shit. And
Dude, him and Boot, he did a thing with Ariana Grande, like for and I was just like, why are people not doing this? Like me and Indy have been fucking stuck on Bruno Mars's shit for like the last fucking month. It's like, yes, we want that. Like there's people out here that
is fucking
yes
stellar on that, dude. Just unbelievable.
Well, and it's like the arrangement, and it's like you can tell that they essentially what they did, and everyone's like they stole shit. No. This is how it would have been done. If you wanted to go back then and write a new song, you don't think that they would have been like, well, let's go fucking take Larry Graham's bass and like, you know, we'll fucking we'll put the fucking the clav on it, and you know, like, dude, they had fucking rototoms in one, and I'm like the only motherfucker who can even recognize the sound of a roto, let alone like the guy who pulled those out of the fucking. I fucking love them. They're like the best tom.
He used to do,
but
the
they do
shit
sound
with those things,
like,
dude. We'd get
like you know, or you like,
and he'd do like,
yeah, like I saw Sheila E do shit one time with fucking rotos, and it was crazy.
Yes.
Like,
all right, you guys are gonna have to get a room. All right, this is getting a little bit erotic.
They're fucking music nerds, man.
Bonding. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I gotta get working on tonight's update.
Yeah,
I'm gonna skate out, but this was freaking awesome, and I dig this.
People can go find the news themselves.
Rock on, Indy. Rock on, Warren. Rock on.
Yeah, Lucy pulled an Irish goodbye, so you know, or maybe I like
wants to get me.
She maybe her.
Whoever wants to get me one of those Roland V Drum $20,000 electronic sets, I'll plug it in and we'll fucking do some shit. But that's all my skills. Yeah. Well, once you have that, I don't even give a shit. I'll just fucking hook it up to a PA and, you know, ignore the computer entirely. Like, yeah. But
all right. Well,
anyway,
well, thank you,
it's
Warren.
been fun, gentlemen.
We're gonna before everybody goes, Indy, since you got business to do, go ahead, tell us what you got coming up soon or what's going on with you.
Yeah, catch me and Reef Saturday night, midnight Eastern. How did we miss that? And then follow at IND Left News and everywhere. And leftist.today, which is the Substack. You see that my URLs are up on my screen there on my icon. And yeah, twice a day, put it out there. We get it done.
That's right. My INN brothers here tonight. Reef.
INN, baby, brother? Yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing shows this Friday or next Friday with holiday shit. right? But the first Friday of January, probably, Steve, if you want to fucking come on, you're welcome to.
Cool.
So, you know, I'll just fucking force you two on air, so you got nowhere else to run to.
Basically, you
but-
guys can play music. You guys can do Reddit cringe. You guys can get wasted, and
Yeah.
and I'll sit there and watch and chat you guys up inside.
Yep.
We'll
So-
romanticize Rush. It'll be awesome. Don't worry.
Oh,
Nice.
I could fucking sit for hours on Neil, but
I'm in.
Fuck yeah.
you know, like
in.
anyway. But yeah, other than that, how do we miss that? Follow me on Twitter. I give a bunch of people shit on there. I'm sure everyone will like that. But yeah, otherwise, you know,
Cool.
just keep an eye out for things. So
Oh yeah, New Year's
But-
coming up. Stever, Lucky, you guys doing a show tonight?
Yes, we are here shortly in about a half an hour, and
This
we'll
week?
have Yona, the mighty Yona, will join us,
And Charlie
Nice.
Brown is going to come on
and Charlie
too.
Brown.
Charlie Brown,
And,
Yeah.
nice.
Hope everybody
Nice.
has a happy Yuletide, smoky Yuletide, Yuleness.
yeah,
Whatever you celebrate.
same.
Festivus, whatever
Yeah.
you.
Fucking Merry
Merry Christ-
Winter Solstice, you thieving Christian bastards.
The days
Christmas,
are
Hanukkah,
just only
Kwanzaa.
going to get longer. They're
Happy
just going to get
Hanukkah.
longer.
Thank
Yeah,
goodness.
gonna get longer, more depressing.
In more ways than one.
Is in winter
Eventually, we'll
great?
just all sound like we came out of Fargo there.
One can only
But
hope.
Oh
That's
yeah.
a life goal right there.
oh yeah, you betcha.
Namaste, fam. We love you.
Namaste.
Hey, we love
Peace.
you.
After party in the Discord if you got nothing better to do.
All right, guys and gals
All right.
and everyone in between. Happy Festivus to you. Let me get the poll out one more time since I went to all this trouble of making this motherfucker.
Bye everyone.
Showing everybody
Have a
his
great
pole.
weekend. Enjoy your Christmases. Watch all these guys. Their
Yeah.
family and they're good folks, and you might learn something. Maybe not on this
Or
show.
don't watch.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to watch.
No pressure.
Fuck you. You don't
Well,
gotta do
you should
shit.
still watch this one.
You
should
know?
still watch this one.
You should do.
If you
But
don't
yeah,
watch though, bad
whatever
shit's
the
gonna happen
spirit
to
of
you. I don't know what it
Festivus
is,
moves you to do.
but the
Yeah.
karma of that is poor.
Peace,
You might
y'all.
stub
You
a toe
know.
or
Peace,
something.
everyone.
Namaste,
Namaste.
guy.
Peace, love, soul.
I'll see you soon. Good night, everybody. And as always, happy Festivus and wash your ass. Please, for the love of God.